Really? Okay.
Feel it coming in the air, and the scream.
Venom Nation, draw your attention to Venom Vision. Ladies and gentlemen, draw your attention to the 25-yard line and please welcome the Venom Vixen. What's the field called? Are we just saying Emerald Six? Coors Light Field.
Okay, and I'm on the check.
I'm on the hand mic. Oh. Well, I'm sorry. I could have brought you a headset. Well, and I started to, when you texted me earlier, yesterday, I started to ask them if I need to grab something, but I didn't. Ladies and gentlemen, the Venom Vixens! And now, if you will turn your attention, Venom Nation, to Venom Vision.
Hey Venom fans, are you ready? Your team's coming out in 2 minutes. Let's get ready to play some football. Fangs up.
Bring the action.
It's playoffs. You either bought it or you ain't. Ain't nothing in the middle. What you here for? When to go home? Let's get it done. Let's do it. I can't more in depth if you boys really know. This is not familiar. I'll explain later. But for now, let me get back to this paper. I'm a couple bands down and I'm trying to get back. I gave Doug a grip, I lost a flip for 5 stacks. Me, I'm talking 5,6 zeros out, zeros here, Doug. Back to run the circles round.
I'm addicted to the thrill. It's a dangerous.
All right, Venom fans, we're gonna need you tonight. Let's get loud. Let's turn this place up. Knock the roof out. Let's go. Fangs up. Ah!
Venom Nation on your
Get ready. Let's meet your AmarilloVenom. Number 1 from West Texas A&M University, Anthony Clark. Number 3 from West Texas A&M University, Raymond Johnson Jr. Number 4 from Winston-Salem State, David Irizarry. Number 5 from Oklahoma Panhandle State University, Doug Williams. Number 6 from Ball State and the San Francisco 49ers, Nate Davis. Number 7 from Texas Tech, Jared Williams. Number 9 from New Mexico Highlands, Dante Bright. Number 10 from Louisiana Lafayette, Blake Gaultier. Number 11 from Northern Arizona, Alex Watson. Number 23 from Montana State, Jason Cunningham. Number 24 from Oklahoma Panhandle State University, Tim O'Neill. Number 29 from West Texas A&M University, James Smith. Number 31 from Texas A&M Kingsville, Stephen Harris. Tay Jackson. Number 66 from Texas A&M Kingsville, Janorius McGill. Number 73 from Oklahoma Panhandle State University, Eric Walsh. And number 91 from West Texas A&M University, Marcus Rowe. And now let's meet the AmarilloVenom coaching staff. The strength and conditioning coach, Carlos Downey. Defensive back coach, John King. Special teams coach, Donna Welch. Defensive coordinator, Daniel Snyder. And the head coach of your Venom, Julian Reese. Parker Sports and Medicine and Orthopedic Center, the official sports medicine provider for the AmarilloVenom football team. For any and all of your medical needs, come visit us at Parker Sports Medicine. Remember, you don't have to be a Venom, but always be healthy enough to get into the game. And now, ladies and gentlemen, if you would please stand, and those of you that are wearing hats, kindly remove them at this time. Please welcome to the field for the presentation of the colors, the Hereford ROTC. Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing for tonight's national anthem. Tonight's national anthem being performed by AmarilloVenom player Blake
Football fans from the Civic Center Coliseum, the Amarillo Civic Center, Coors Light Field here at the Cal Farley Coliseum in Amarillo for one of the two semifinals in the Lone Star Football League this evening. The first one tonight will be the Abilene Bombers at the AmarilloVenom. The other one down south is the New Mexico Stars at the Laredo Rattlesnakes. Before we get started, this is Phil Woodall and Mike Roden with you on the webcast tonight. Let's pause for our national anthem.
Whose bar stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, for the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' reckless
number
quarterback
10,
Blaine
Blaine
Gaultier of Louisiana.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Lafayette.
please
Amarillo
remain
Venom, the
standing for
defending
just
Lone Star
another
Football
minute
League champions.
for
Number
tonight's
1 seed in
prayer.
2013
Tonight's prayer will be
with a
given
record
by
of
Valley View Church of the
9-3,
Nazarene,
and the
Pastor
Abilene
Larry
Bombers
Dunlap.
coming in
Please
as
assume
the
an
4
attitude of
seed
prayer.
at 6-6. They won 3
bow
of
your
the
heads
first
with me.
4 ball games to start.
Heavenly
They won
Father, we
3
give
of
you
their
thanks
first
for the chance to be
3
here
of
this
their
night.
4 last
We give you thanks
games.
for this weekend
And
in
in
which we
between the 4
celebrate the
game
freedom of
losing
our
streak.
country.
Also, they
We
lost
pray
all
for
3
those
games
who
that
fight
they
on our
played
behalf
against
and give us the chance to be here
Amarillo
tonight. Those
Venom.
men and women who
They
stand in harm's
lost
way.
at
We pray your
Taylor
blessing
County
upon
Expo
them.
back on
We give you
April
thanks for
6,
these young men who have come to play
58-54
this
to the
game
Venom.
tonight. We pray that
Lost
you'd
to
keep
them
them
here in
safe,
Amarillo.
that
May
you'd make
4th,
them fast,
63 to
fierce, and
41,
strong,
and then
and may
lost
be a
back
vain
at Taylor
blade to
County
your
Expo
glory. And for this
back
we
on
give
May
you thanks in
27th
Jesus' name.
by a score
Amen.
of 63 to 48. But as you well know, that
Presenting
doesn't mean
Coach
anything because
Julian
these are
Reese, the
playoffs.
Merritt Vaughn
Doesn't matter
State
what
Farm
you did
Insurance
during the
game
season.
ball is
The slate
Lexi
is
Reyes.
wiped clean.
The
And,
Amarillo Venom want to
Mike
thank
Levin,
Merritt
I think it's
Vaughn
gonna
for
be
his
an
continued
interesting
support of
contest.
Amarillo Venom
Venom
football.
coming
If you
off
will
a
draw
loss
your
last
attention
week
to
on
the
the road
25-yard
at
line tonight,
Laredo,
the
the
Amarillo
number 2
Venom would
seed,
like to
that's who they
welcome
hope to
Dan
play
Kwan.
in the championship
Dan is the
game next
executive
week.
director
But
of
they
the
know
Amarillo
they cannot
Convention and
take
Visitor
Abilene for
Council, an
granted.
organization
This is a very
responsible
dangerous team.
for providing Amarillo as a great place for leisure conventions, special events, sports, and Venom playoff football. Tonight's game sponsored by Panhandle Tickets, Amarillo Convention and Visitor Council,
of the year
and Cumulus
as
Radio.
Julian Venom, Julian
Please
Reese
draw your
of the
attention
Venom,
to the
head coach,
25-yard
for the
line
Amarillo
for
Venom,
tonight's
said that
coin
on numerous
toss.
occasions that they may be the defending champions and they may be the top seeds coming in, but you have to go out, you have to perform and put together a complete game. And whoever does put together that complete game tonight, offensively, defensively, and special teams, is going to come away with the victory and move on into the Lone Star Football Championship game.
Venom averaged 61.2 points per ball game, allowed 53.4. Abilene averages 51.2 points per ball game and gives up 51.5. They have 2 quarterbacks who play a lot. That, of course, is Andre Coles from Kutztown State. He's got 11 touchdowns, 8 picks on the season, and is hitting 74.2% of its passes. The other quarterback is Byron Ingram out of Morehouse College. He has 27 touchdowns, 10 picks, 57% passing, and also has run for 15 touchdowns. I asked Coach Joe Brennan in his second year, how do you rotate it? He said, whenever we want to. You figure it might be series by series, quarter by quarter, but that's what he does. And for the Amarillo Venom, of course, their main man is Nate Davis out of Ball State University, the alma mater of David Letterman, in case you want to know.
Tonight's first quarter is brought to you by Realty Central.
56% percentage passing and averages 215 yards per ball game passing. So he's going to be tough. We did find out Doug Williams, a fine receiver out of Oklahoma Panhandle State, 18 touchdowns, injured a hand last week. He will play tonight. Will be fine. Alex Watson, another good receiver with 9 touchdowns. Anthony Clark out of WT, and Raymond Johnson Jr. also out of WT. He has 17 touchdowns on the season, but he also has 3 kickoff returns, 4 touchdowns, and that means he'll get first look at it. Let's take a look at our crew working the game tonight. Richard Simmons, no, not the guy that lost a lot of weight. He is referee.
Felipe Martinez with the Scotco kickoff. The winner of tonight's game advances to the LSFL Championship game next Saturday night.
The kicker is going to be replaced
Venom
tonight
fans, the
by
hour has arrived.
He is a DB
Let's make some noise. Let's have fun.
All right, we are ready to get this one underway.
Let's get
the
busy.
semifinals of the Lone Star Football League.
Number 3, Raymond Johnson Jr. back deep for your Venom.
Done well so far, topping the league
Let's
at 9-3. Meanwhile, Abilene at 6-6. And here's the kickoff from left to right. It's taken at the 15 by an up back for the Venom. He's across the 25, Dante Bright.
The kickoff return by number 9, Dante Bright. The stop made by 21, Archie Reed.
Territory.
It'll be
the Venom
first
will take
and 10
over.
for the
Venom.
Venom.
After a decent
the ball mark
return on the
at
kickoff. And here comes quarterback Nate Davis onto the field.
Line. Find the Wild Wonderland Gnome. Win a free ride past the Wonderland if you find the Gnome, Venom fans.
Fill the
Gnome
big
hit
shoes
each
at
quarter
quarterback
when you find it.
for
Take
this
it to the
Amarillo
customer
Venom team when
relations
Julian
booth
Reese
close to the
stepped aside.
merchandise booth.
And of course, now
You
he's
can
the
redeem
head
it for a
coach.
free ride
But
pass
Nate Davis,
from
that kind of
Wonderland.
caliber of quarterback that you have to win in this league.
And he's a guy that went down to San Antonio of the Arena Football League, and he didn't like what they did to him, so he came right back, and that was a big, big help.
Now the officials holding things up as they get the down markers set on the far side. And we're just about ready for the first play from scrimmage. Eric Waltz, the Venom center, over the ball. And here is our first play as we get this semifinal underway. And Davis goes to the gear. He's got a man, but in and out of his hands at the 10-yard line.
Nate Davis's pass intended for number 3, Raymond Johnson Jr. We have a legal shield flag on the field.
Both hands on it to bring it down. And there's a late penalty marker at the end of the play, Phil.
Thanks some extracurricular activity. Raymond Johnson Jr. was the man in motion out of the deep backfield and had a good chance at it, but couldn't make the connection. And let's see, I think it's probably going to be against both sides for some sort of personal foul.
Or 2 fouls after
Rowe
the play.
comes out of the game
Personal
for
foul,
Amarillo.
72.
Not sure if he was involved or not, but Julian Reese is acting like he was involved as he is
Attention Venom Nation, if you've been eyeing something special at the Venom merchandise booth, stop by this first quarter for 10% off your entire purchase. Hurry before they run out of your favorite T-shirt.
At the 24-yard line of the Bombers.
Venom sent 2 receivers to the wide side of the field, which is the right side. Single receiver in the slot to the left. Man in motion as Davis drops back to pass. And now he's hit and he goes down. There's a flag on the end of this play as well. Looks like it might be offensive holding. But it doesn't matter because there's a big sack by the Bombers early in this ball game.
Jermaine Blakely, a 6'4", 340-pounder out at Stillman College in Atlanta, Georgia, makes it. And I believe the flag is going to be a personal foul. Oh, it's going to be a face mask called against.
Resumes the plays are right on the field. First down for your AmarilloVenom. Let's check in with Eric quickly. What you got, Eric?
Take it up some 10 yards, and then we got a quick timeout. Maybe an official timeout. Maybe it's taken by Venom.
Yeah, it is taken by Amarillo. And you're right, Phil. Didn't see the face mask violation, but nonetheless, it is a big turn of events there because the Bombers, which have had a good season as far as putting on pressure on the opposing quarterback, they come into the contest tonight. One of the top teams as far as quarterback sacks in the league, if not the top team. But they definitely got penetration as, again, the receivers are secondary doing the good job on the Venom receivers.
All right, let's check in with Eric. Eric, what you got for us?
Open, and then it was too late as the pressure came and he went down.
I'm down here with the fans. Real Century.
70 penalties.
Relocation here at the Venom game. Now I've got Gary and Chris Shabari and Indio Sola and Xavier Garcia waving to the crowd, guys.
60.7 yards per ball game.
So we go back to play after the timeout. A little more on the Abilene defense. They have the leading tackler in the Lone Star Football League.
That was an Aqua One water break on the field. Charge
tackles per contest.
Your AmarilloVenom. You're sitting in section 108, row C, seat 1. You're the winner of some cool swag from our friends at Team Master Ford. Please bring your ticket to the customer service booth to redeem your prize.
Quarterback sacks on the season.
First and 10 at the 14-yard line of Abilene. 14-19 left in the first quarter. No score. Alex Watson in motion right.
And dropping back, Davis. He throws into the end zone, but is tipped and incomplete. And a nice play defensively there by the Bombers. Archie Reed, just the man we were talking about a moment ago. He dropped back into pass coverage that time, and it looked like Phil, it was going to be a touchdown, but at the last minute he deflected.
Well, Watson was the man in motion that they were going to send long. Curl across the back of the end zone. Arch Reed out of Texas Tech makes a terrific play right there. 6'2",
Please bring your ticket
212
to the
pounds.
customer service booth to redeem
And of
your
course, back
gift
in those days,
certificate. Again, you're sitting in
Coach
section
Leach,
101,
they didn't play
row D,
defense.
seat 9.
They really
You've won a $50 off a windshield chip
what the word
repair
meant.
from Cosmetic Auto
Watson
Repair
again
Systems.
split far to the right side, the wide side of the field. Receiver in tight on the left side. Motion man is Johnson. They'll swing it out on the quick toss to the right side. Short yardage on the play to Alex Watson.
Nate Davis's pass complete to number 11, Alex Watson on the stop for
It's almost
Abilene,
like a pick play, but it's legal
Reed.
down here in indoor
That is a
football.
JD
Watson
Tires
making a solid
completion.
catch.
And that
RJ
puts
getting a
your
nice block out on the
AmarilloVenom
edge.
in the Coors Light red zone.
Pick up a 4
at the
yards.
10-yard
Third down
line.
and 6 at the 10.
Just underway, no score. First possession of the ball game for either team. The Venom took the opening kickoff, had a good return, but so far the Abilene Bomber defense has been up to the task here. But at the 10, third down. Quick toss goes to the left side. It's caught near the 5-yard line and down to the 3
Nate
for the
Davis'
first
pass
down.
complete to number 11, Alex Watson. It's a J.D. Tires completion. 20 for Eldell on the stop for Abilene.
Reception, for a first down.
I think it's going to be Alex Watson. I was trying to give you 2 fingers there for 11, and I messed
first
up.
and goal for the Venom.
So it is a first down, nonetheless, for the AmarilloVenom at the 3-yard line. Davis under center. And he will fake the handoff, trying to run it around the right end, then tosses it into the end zone for the score.
Nate Davis' pass
that looked like it was
complete.
definitely going to be a quarterback sack.
The number 3, Raymond
was wide open,
Johnson
and
Jr.
as Davis went down, he just kind of shot put it into the end zone for the score.
That's a J.D. Tires completion. And that's a T for touchdown.
Now we got a flag.
By Sonic, and we got a legal shield flag on the field. Legal shield flag on the field.
3 yards out to Raymond Johnson Jr.
Well, these two teams, it's no secret that they don't really care for each other. They're pretty good rivals, and so far we've seen that in tonight's contest. This, again, a very late penalty flag.
Dead ball.
Here's the call.
Unsportsmanlike conduct, number 72. The defense. Also,
unsportsmanlike conduct against both teams on that flag.
Cancel. Result of play.
The touchdown will count. And so the Venom lead it 6-0 as Jason Cunningham, the place kicker, comes out onto the field.
Cunningham, a hometown boy from Tascosa High School, but kicked up at Montana State University for the Big Sky Conference and was an all-conference player there.
He's been the top kicker in the Lone Star Football League this season. Nate Davis is the holder as the Venom tried to tack on the extra point after opening drive of the game, goes for a score. Here's the kick by Cunningham. And it is good.
Jason Cunningham extra point is good with 12-13 remaining in the Realty Central first quarter. Your scores Amarillo 7. Abilene nothing. And here come the Venom Vixens with those playoff closet footballs.
Now it's the Bombers' turn.
And Toby Tucker
So they will come out and see what they can do.
T-shirt gun. If you want a football, you want a T-shirt, make some noise!
A big story throughout the course of the season. Obviously, the offenses have put up the numbers, but at times, the Bombers' defense has been one of the top defenses in the league, and of course, the Venom can say the same thing. One thing that has been lacking, though, from time to time, is the consistency for each team on that side of the football.
On the drive for the Venom, 5 plays, 24 yards, 2 minutes and 35 seconds off the clock. And of course, the big play was what was going to be a quarterback sack on Nate Davis. Wound up being a face mask penalty on second down against the Bombers. That gave him a first down at the 14-yard line. And then on a very unusual play, on a first and goal at the 3-yard line, Nate Davis trying to run around to the left side, who has been a terrific runner with the football all season long. Looked like he was fairly stopped.
Kevin Cunningham with the Scott Cove kickoff for your AmarilloVenom.
Arche making the catch.
Your unconventional touchdown throw for sure. Back deep will be Rob
Number
Spells
12 for
and
Abilene.
Diamond Weaver
Rob
for Abilene.
Spells for Diamond Weaver. Back deep for the Bombers.
AmarilloVenom.
Only better shot putter I saw was Randy Manson from Pampa.
It's a squib kick that will take a big hop, and it will be brought down by Diamond Weaver at the 4. It makes a good move at the 10 to get around several would-be tacklers.
Diamond Weaver with a kickoff return for the Abilene Bombers.
Right around the 16-yard line. And still
on the stop for the Venom 45, Lafayette Jackson. It is first and 10 for Abilene. Ball marked at the 17-yard line.
Well,
Venom fans, you've done a great job of being loud this season. Tonight, we need you to be even louder for your defense.
Really getting on to teammates there a moment ago.
Make some noise!
After the play. So he's trying to settle his team down just a little bit. He will line up to the right side. And here we go. Andre Coles under center, man in motion. Back to the right side. Coles drops back. Pump fake. Has time. He'll go deep now. And a man open, but it's overthrown and incomplete. As Rob Spells was there and had beaten the coverage of the Venom.
For number 12, Rob Spells. Venom fans, the pass
University, the quarterback Andre Cole, 6'5", 245 pounder.
Second down and 10 at the 17.
That's up in
Even louder, Venom fans, let's hear you.
He's done a nice job so far this season for the Bombers.
And of plenty of time to throw the football for the quarterback, Andre Coles, that time. And the Venom defender bit on the pump fake on 2nd down and 10. The ball is loose on the snap. The Venom got it at the 17-yard line. Coming up with it is Anthony Clark for the Venom. And now a late penalty marker on the far side of the field.
Anthony Clark with the fumble recovery. It's a Scottsdale turnover. We got a legal shield flag on the field.
Also played some basketball. Now they're indicating the penalty maybe against the Amarillo Venom.
Well, that would be a huge break for Abilene if that is the case. The Abilene players all pointing to the Venom as if the penalty will go against the red and black.
Offsides, 5-yard
and it will be an offsides call against the Venom. Very costly penalty.
Well, this game in indoor football is always about making defensive stops. Yeah, you see the big numbers with the offensive numbers.
It'll be 2nd and 5 for Abilene. Their own 22-yard line. Come on, Venom fans.
To score.
Gotta make some noise and support your defense.
22-yard line of the Bombers.
Single receiver to each side. And the motion man lining up around the 10-yard line comes in motion up the field. And the running play goes up the middle, and that's Blakely, the big defensive lineman and offensive lineman as well, Jermaine Blakely, with the carry for short yardage. He does get across the 23-yard line, just short of midfield. It'll be 2nd down, or make it 3rd down, and about 4 to go for the 1st down.
Well, in this league, you're going to see a lot of William the Refrigerator Perry types in the backfield, and Blakely is one of them. This time empty backfield. Now Blakely off to the side on the right.
Coles under center, man in motion to the near side. Short drop and the throw comes to the near side for the motion man, but it's low and incomplete. And that will bring up 4th down.
Intended that time for Ingram. And Ingram out of Delaware.
Didn't have a whole lot of room to work along the near sideline. And couldn't come up with the low toss from Coles. So we'll see what Abilene has in store here on 4th down. There's about 4 yards to go for the 1st down. They have to get to the Venom 23 to move the chains.
Split Ingram out to the left side. The man in motion will be Spells.
And now we've got movement and flags, and that's going to go against Abilene because Coles called for the snap, and his center did not deliver it, and everybody started moving at that point.
Be a false start. They'll back it up 5 yards.
Boy, that's big on 4th down where you had 4th and 4. And now it will be a totally different set of circumstances for the Bombers as it moves the ball back to the 18-yard line.
4th down and 9. Their normal kicker, Felipe Martinez, did not make the trip. Wally Moomin, who is a very good defensive back, is not on for any type of field goal effort.
Coles has Blakely just to his right, and man in motion up the middle of the field as Coles drops back to pass. Goes over the middle, it's behind the intended receiver and incomplete as Rob Spells was there around the 20-yard line, but there's another penalty marker on the far side of the field.
I was about to say I was looking for laundry, and I didn't see it, and it got hidden over there by Blakely.
It's going to be against the Bombers, so that will give the ball to the Venom. On the illegal procedure call, it will be declined. The ball will go over and downs with Amarillo leading 7-0, so the Venom get a touchdown on their opening possession, and the Bombers unable to move the football on their first drive of the game.
It's going to be a 1st and 10 for the Venom at the Bomber 18-yard line, and a chance to really get some big momentum early on in this one.
Of course, the first meeting between these two teams was the tightest ball game of the 3. The Venom won that in Abilene 58-54. A lot changed, though, from early in the season. And personnel-wise, it's a whole different ball game after that, it seems like. The Venom won the second matchup, 63-41. And Abilene made it a little bit closer in the third meeting. 63-48 is what that one ended up. That was the rematch back in Abilene. So the Venom 3-0, trying to make it 4-0 against the Bombers on the season. And not an easy task to beat a team 4 times in the year. But that's what the Venom are trying to do here in the Lone Star Football League semifinals.
Stephen Harris flanks out to the right side. Running back is going to be, I think it was Kevin Brown. Now he's going to split out to the left side.
So from the 18.
Oh, wait a minute. Hang on.
Well, now the Bombers still have the football.
Yeah, I was thinking the ball had gone over in downs, but.
Well, you know what may have happened, Phil? They called the illegal procedure, and then they may have called a penalty on the Venom as well, so it might have offset. And that's why we're getting a replay of 4th down here. Now the officials stop play, and they will converge again to discuss and make sure they have it all correct. I'm not real sure what was going on, but the Venom want to talk about things, so they call a timeout.
8:55 left in the first quarter. 7-0, the Venom on top. Phil Woodall and Mike Roden with you tonight on B2 Network. Glad you're with us. I've been battling sinus infection all week.
You have been kind of under the weather, haven't you?
Started last Sunday, and it's the worst I've ever had.
Well, we're glad you're able to be on the broadcast tonight. And these two teams, of course, trying to advance to the championship game. And it's a different season according to every team you talk to when it comes postseason time. Is it really doesn't matter what happened in the regular season. We were talking about the Venom winning the first 3 matchups between these two teams, but it's a whole different day, especially if you're the Bombers looking at this contest, because they would love nothing better than to knock off the defending champion Venom and the top-seeded team in this year's playoffs. So again, the Venom calling the timeout. The officials have got it all straight. They talked with Coach Julian Reese on one side, and now they go to talk to Joe Brennan on the other side of the football. Coach Brennan in his second season at the helm of the Bombers, and Julian Reese in his second year with the Venom as a coach.
And don't you find it ironic, Julian Reese, who's been with us indoor football franchise for some years, played at Indiana State University, and their quarterback out of Ball State in Indiana. Sort of a nice connection back there to the Hoosier State. And Julian Reese has just become a great part of this community.
Now they did back the football up 5 yards, so the penalty was illegal procedure, and that is what the call is. So it backs it up 5 yards, and it's 4th down for the Bombers. They'll go for it. Coles takes the snap, drops back, throws over the middle, nobody at home, and it's incomplete. Several Venom players in the vicinity, but that was it. Some confusion on the route, I think, by LaJuan Edwards, as he had gone on a down and out, and the pass came over the middle.
LaJuan Edwards with history here, played at West Texas A&M back in 2000 and 2001 for head coach Stan McGarvey. And now the Venom will take the ball over in Bomber territory, 1st and 10 at the 13.
Already leading 7-0. Venom try to add to that lead as they get the football back on downs. And quarterback Nate Davis will send a receiver to each side of the field. Williams to the right, Watson to the left, motion man Raymond Johnson Jr. on the left side. Nate Davis fires it to the left side. It's complete, and down inside the 10-yard line goes, I believe, Alex Watson. Let's see. It is Watson on the reception, as he was hit and hit hard after he caught the football. He'll spot it down just inside the 9-yard line. It will be 2nd down, and call it about 6 to go for the 1st down. From the Bombers' 9. Davis rifles it over the middle, caught in the end zone for the touchdown by Doug Williams, as the Venom are on the board once again. Just a little slant right over the middle, and the Bombers defense didn't react quickly enough, and Nate Davis found his target. And that makes it 13-0. Amarillo with the lead, 8:01 to play in this first quarter of this Lone Star Football League semifinal matchup. Jason Cunningham comes on to attempt the extra point. Nate Davis is the holder. Takes the snap, and here's Cunningham's kick. And he's 2 for 2 on the night. The Venom lead it 14-0 with 7:50 to play here in this first quarter. A quick start for the number 1 seeds and the defending Lone Star Football League champion, Amarillo Venom.
2 plays, 13 yards in just 50 seconds. 19th touchdown catch of the year for Doug Williams, and for Nate Davis, his 46th touchdown pass of the year. And Cunningham makes it a 14-0 ball game. 7:50 to go here in the first quarter, and the Amarillo Venom off to a quick start. You know, the coach was not happy. Coach Julian Reese was not happy about their final home victory of the year He got on him for giving up 72 points. And then he said he was really wanted to go after the team down in Laredo. And they kind of let everybody rest. And they lost. So now they come back and they got a little momentum early on.
They definitely have some momentum here early in this contest. Not much going right so far for the Bombers. They've had some costly penalties. And all of a sudden they turn around and they're in a 14-0 hole. But as we know, it can turn around just the other way just as quickly. And that's what the Bombers are hoping. And they drop back Diamond Weaver and Rob Spells to return the kickoff of Jason Cunningham of the Venom. Cunningham taps the back wall, raises his hand, and here's his kick. It's a low line drive kick, takes a big hop into the hands of Weaver, who bobbles it, retreats in the end zone, picks it up. He's across the 5, looking through him, gets a great block in the 10, 15, and he makes a great return out of that.
Greg Yeldell is the guy that gave the great block out there to bust him loose for some more yards.
Boy, that was a great block that really opened up a nice hole. And so instead of starting very deep in their own end of the field, the Bombers at least get some breathing room here at the 18-yard line.
On that final game against New Mexico, they had a safety during the ball game. They had a safety on the kickoff, final play of the first half, scored 1 point, and then they had a 2-point touchdown on a return fumble on an extra point attempt.
Andre Coles, the quarterback again, and flanked by a player, and now the flags fly once again as this play gets underway. The pass went downfield to Lamont Edwards, but it's not going to matter because it's an illegal procedure call against the Bombers. Again, not much going right for Abilene here early on in this contest.
And it also seems they don't have their passing game really coordinated right now because none of the receivers have looked open.
So the Bombers will huddle up now and see what they can do on 2nd down and 15 from the 13-yard line. 1st and 15, beg your pardon, as they will get the down over after the penalty of illegal procedure. Spells is the motion man. As he crosses the line, he's open downfield. But it's stripped from behind and picked up by the Venom. Alex walks it, or has it. Anthony Clark is the Venom player that has the football inside the 5-yard line at the 4. And again, receivers were open for Abilene, but the backside pressure, Bill, came and just stripped the ball away from Coles right to Anthony Clark.
Lacey gives the Venom tremendous field position. The 1st and goal, they're going to mark it at the 4.
So the Venom in business once again here after the turnover. Great play by the Amarillo defense. And Anthony Clark found the football, bounced right to him inside the 5-yard line. He was covered up at the 4. 1st and goal for the Venom as Nate Davis brings his team to the line of scrimmage.
Will Neal lines up as the running back.
They'll fake the handoff as Davis rolls right. He's in trouble, throws into the end zone, and finds an open target for the Venom score. Raymond Johnson Jr. has his 2nd touchdown of the night for the Venom. He came back across from the backside of the end zone to help Nate Davis, who was in big trouble. Running for his life, but he created just enough time for Johnson to come back to his aid, and he found his receiver for another Venom touchdown.
And for RJ, that is 2nd touchdown of the night, 19th of the season.
Another extra point attempt here for Jason Cunningham. He's 2 for 2 so far in the contest. And the kick is on the way, and it is good. 21-0 now. The Amarillo Venom off and running here in the semifinal. First round of the playoffs, and a great start here on their home field for the Venom. 6:32 to play in the first quarter as the Bombers now will try to gather themselves because they've really been a little rattled here early on with penalties and now the turnover coming back to haunt them.
All right, even I can figure this one out. One play, 4 yards, 13 seconds off the clock. Didn't take long.
That one was pretty simple.
But it was all set up by the great defensive play, the fumble recovery by Anthony Clark, and the Venom off to a great start here at 21-0 over the Abilene Bombers. We may have to check Twitter and see if we can get caught up on New Mexico and Laredo.
Diamond Weaver will go back deep once again. He'll line up around the 5-yard line. I believe also back there with him this time is LaJuan Edwards, standing closer to the 10. As Jason Cunningham of the Venom lines up for his third kickoff of the contest. As the Venom have racked up 3 scores here in this first period of play against the stunned Bombers team. It's a line driver that will bounce to Spells at the 4. He falls down, loses it, picks it up, looks for room, and he finds it. There's a penalty marker as he's still scrambling. Well, loses the football, and the Venom have it. Now let's see what the penalty flag is.
Coming up with the apparent fumble recovery, Kevin Brown. Usually it's a block in the back, isn't it?
Looks like it will probably be a illegal block against Abilene, and it is. And of course that is declined. So the Venom get the football on recovery by Kevin Brown, who was in the right place at the right time this time, just like Anthony Clark was a moment ago. So again, it's going from bad to worse for the Abilene Bombers here so far in this contest.
And didn't we say earlier the Bombers are the least penalized team in the league?
Well, I'm not sure what their turnovers have been on the season, but that's so far been a problem on their last 2 possessions. So the Venom have the football again, leading 21-0. 6:14 to go in the first quarter, and they take over at the Bombers' 8-yard line. Dropping back is Nate Davis. He's got all kinds of time. Looks in the end zone. It's caught for the touchdown in the corner on the left side of the end zone for the Venom. And it will be Doug Williams with his second touchdown catch of the evening.
Sound like a law firm, Johnson and Williams.
There was not much room for Nate Davis to put that one in there. In, again, the corner right near the goal line of the end zone. But he threaded the needle and found Doug Williams for the Venom's 4th touchdown of this contest. And once again, Jason Cunningham lines up for his 4th extra point kick of the night. And it's on the way and good as well. 28-0. The Venom flexing their muscle here early in this contest as they come into this game, as Phil has already talked about, off of a loss on the road at Laredo last week in a game that really was a meaningless ball game. We asked Julian Reese, the head coach of the Venom, during the week, would he rest some players? And he basically denied that they were going to rest any players, saying that, no, we're going down there to win. We play to win every ball game. And, of course, they got down there and rested some players and ended up losing the contest. But as we visited with Julian and the Venom this week, Phil, we asked, can you get back in that mode, turn the switch back on again, if you will, after the down week at Laredo last week, and every one of them said, absolutely, we'll be ready to go come playoff time, and so far, so good for the Venom.
One play, 8 yards, 20 seconds off the clock. In other words, you're saying that Coach Julian Reese is like a politician. He lied to you, and he came back and gave you a different story.
That's exactly what he did. But we'll forgive him. He's just like every other coach who basically does the same thing. Well, speaking of coaches, Joe Brannon's got to rally his team now because the Bombers have been stunned here early in this contest with the Venom. And Abilene has got to try to cut down on the penalties and the turnovers, which have really hurt them on their first few possessions of this ball game. Here's Jason Cunningham's kick once again. Takes a high bounce. Spells will field it at the 4-yard line. No, this is LaJuan Edwards across the 10, 15, and up against the wall between the 15 and 20-yard line. So a little bit better field position for the Bombers to work with. If they can hang on to the football and, again, cut down on the penalties, we'll see if they can start to move the football.
And, again, they'll switch quarterbacks. Byron Ingram out of Morehouse will come in.
It'll be his first action in tonight's contest. Andre Coles was the quarterback on the previous drives. But now Ingram getting his chance at it. Coming in with the play from head coach Joe Brannon. The Bombers will send 2 receivers to the near side. The motion man lines up way behind is Brian Ingram. And they go to Ingram. He's open at the 10. He's got it and tackled at the 6. And a big play is what Abilene needed, and they got the big play as Brian Ingram was open from Byron Ingram, and they make the completion down to the Venom 6.
Brian Ingram making a big play. He's out of Delaware. And Byron Ingram out of Morehouse. Tackle made that time to Stephen Harris. First and goal at the 6.
So Byron Ingram putting the pass right on the money. And so first and goal from the 6 now for the Bombers, trying to get on the board, trailing 28-0. They'll snap it. Ingram starts right, comes back to the left, hit at the 6 and dropped as he is pushed backwards, and a great tackle on the play for the Venom by Nate Davis, who goes both ways. So much for worrying about your quarterback getting hurt. Davis is second on the team, Phil, in interceptions this season with 2.
Marcus Rowe was also there. That time they went out of the shotgun. You don't see that very much in indoor league football. No gain. It'll be a second down and goal at the 6.
Long huddle by the Bombers. Ingram and Turner go to the left side. In the backfield, Jermaine Bakley. And the motion man is Turner. They'll hand it on the end around to Jarvis. Gets a block, hit at the 1 and stretches. And he's down at the 1-yard line.
Jarius Jarvis out of Missouri Southern.
Nice stop on the far side on the play to prevent him from getting into the end zone, but it was an effective call. Jarvis coming on the end around, started on the left side, came back around behind the action, took the handoff, and got it one block. Looked like that might get him into the end zone, but instead he stopped just inside the 1. Byron Ingram under center. And they will hand it off, and diving into the end zone for the touchdown is Alex Joyner, who lined up just to the left of the quarterback Ingram. And he dives into the end zone, and the Bombers are on the board, trailing now 28-6 with just under 3 minutes to play in the first quarter. Willie Bradley threw a block to get him into the end zone, and he comes up hobbling at the end of the play, walking pretty slowly back to the huddle.
And let's see if they go for 2, and it appears they will. Moomin is designated as the kicker.
No, they will go for 2. You're right. Byron Ingram gets the play from his head coach, Joe Brannon. Once again, Alex Joyner in the backfield, right behind his quarterback. Jarvis lines up to the left side. And now they'll switch Brian Ingram from the left side back to the right side. Motion man is Jeremiah Turner. Now a flag, and looks like they may have taken a little bit too much time. Joe Brannon's not happy with his team right now, that they did take too much time. They had to shift too many players around, Phil, and just had some confusion.
That may be partly because, trying to run these 2-point conversion plays instead of a normal kicker.
That'll scoot the ball back to the 7-yard line. And now they'll reset things and try for the 2 points with really a little more room to work with as far as the passing game goes. Ingram and Turner again go right. Jarvis comes to the left side. Joyner in the backfield, but out of the shotgun again is Byron Ingram, the quarterback. Takes the snap, looks, dumps it off to Joyner at the 5. He's got it, he's hit, loses the football. It goes into the end zone, and let's see who recovered it. The Venom players are saying the ball carrier was down before he pitched it into the end zone. The officials will gather, and let's see what the call is. Julian Reese is happy, so it looks like it's going to go to the Venom's way.
4 plays, 31 yards, 2 minutes, 38 seconds off the clock. And the Bombers have cut the lead down to 28-6.
And so there, the officials break the huddle finally, and that will not count as a 2-point conversion. So It is, again, 28-6, 2:05 left to go in this first quarter, which has been dominated by the Venom up until that last drive by the Bombers. Finally getting the big play that they need from Ingram to Ingram, as Byron came in at quarterback and got a big downfield pass to Brian Ingram that set up the score for the Bombers. And a much-needed score it was. See if it kind of sparks the defense now, because they've not been able to stop the Venom so far. However, to you can't blame the defense when the offense gives the ball to the Venom twice inside the 5-yard line.
Yeah. Once at the 4, once at the 8. They both score.
Or inside the 10, I guess it was.
And we'll be waiting until you've got as you can tell, the flipper contest wearing. I always have a lot going on here at the Civic Center for games and other stuff like that.
And, of course, if the Venom prevail in this contest, they have locked up home field advantage throughout the playoffs. And if they advance to the championship game, they would host the championship contest here at the Civic Center next weekend. Abilene hoping they can do something about that, knock off the defending champion Venom, but they've dug themselves a big hole here early in this contest. They were down 28-0, down 28-6. And Wally Moomin will kick off for Abilene as we get the Duck Racers off the field. Raymond Johnson Jr., he's a big-time threat on returning kickoffs for the Amarillo Venom. He's got 3 touchdowns on the season. And one of them came, in fact, I'm not sure, I think maybe 2 of them came in one game against Abilene. At least he scored 1 on a return against the Bombers this season. They'll kick it. Moomin will way over to the right-hand side, and it will go up into the stands. So the Venom will take over the football. And they'll get good field position after that kick into the stands. So it will be first down and 10 for Nate Davis and the Amarillo Venom at midfield. You have to make that a penalty in this ball game, in the indoor game, because otherwise they would just do that every kick, especially with a guy like Raymond Johnson Jr. back deep.
Well, right at midfield at the 25-yard line, first and 10, 150 and counting here in the first quarter. Venom on top, 28-6.
Trying to add to their lead. Davis is under center. Quick drop throw to the near side. It's caught at the 5-yard line, and into the boards is Alex Watson. And it'll be first and goal for the Venom inside the 5.
You know, I think they think of Alex Watson kind of like a possession receiver, but boy, he's got quicks.
Nate Davis put it right on the money near the board on the right side.
Gain of 22 to the 3-yard line, first and goal.
They'll call it the 3. Johnson in motion now up the field. He looks into the end zone for the pass, but boy, it was nearly picked off as Nate Davis had to fire that between 2 Abilene defenders, and had they been looking back at the ball at the right moment, either one of them could have picked that off.
Chaz Russell and also Archie Reed were the 2 defenders back there for the Bombers, who last year were known as the Rough Riders.
That's right. Sure were.
Bombers this year because of the Bombers at Dias Air Force Base.
And they'll hand it off. Tim O'Neill tries to find some running room and squeezes through the hole at the last minute for the touchdown. It looked like he was going to be brought down at the 1, but he kept his feet and broke the tackle. And it looked like that Jarius Jarvis was going to bring him down at the 1, but somehow Tim O'Neill managed to make it into the end zone for another Venom touchdown.
O'Neill out of Oklahoma Panhandle State University, 5th touchdown rushing this year.
Now the extra point kick yet again for Jason Cunningham and the Amarillo Venom. We're under a minute to play here in this first quarter. It's been pretty much all Venom so far. Cunningham's kick on the way, and he remains perfect on extra point kicks on the night. 35-6. Amarillo answers the Bombers score. Abilene looked like they had gotten the momentum from the Venom, but Nate Davis led his team right down the field after the mistake on the kickoff gave the Venom great field position at the 25, and they take it in from there for the score.
3 plays, 25 yards, 1:20 off the clock.
.5 seconds left to play here in this opening quarter as the fans try to catch the balls thrown. As again, the promotions continue. Never a dull moment at any of the indoor ball games in the Lone Star Football League. So we invite you to go out and check it out to the rest of this season. Of course, the other semifinal going on down in Laredo tonight. The New Mexico Stars visiting the Laredo Rattlesnakes. The winner of that one will tangle with the winner of this ball game for the title next weekend. So Jason Cunningham to kick it off once again for the AmarilloVenom.
That was another guy that they picked up last year, the Venom did, and they were lucky that they did.
He has been a terrific addition to this team for sure. Rob Spells is back deep, along with LaJuan Edwards. They'll kind of squib it to the boards, and running up to take it finally is Edwards. He's got room down the sideline, cuts it back, and now cuts back again, and he's hit finally as he takes it into Venom territory just short of the 15-yard line. And a terrific run, some explosiveness, definitely for LaJuan Edwards.
Well, I remember Edwards when he played at WT. He was a JC transfer from California. He came in and did terrifically for Coach McGarvey and the team. He's a guy that not very tall, but also very quick. He's 5'9", but I don't think he's that.
Definitely what you would call a veteran player. He's been around the block. He knows how to win, and that's why the Bombers have him on their team. He's one of their top receivers throughout the course of the season. So Byron Ingram still in at quarterback for the Bombers after leading them to a score a moment ago. He will hand it off. This is Blakely. He fumbles the football. Let's see if he was down, though. Nope, they are going to give it to the Bombers, as they say. Blakely was down as Jermaine coughed up the football. Well, not what you want to see if you're Abilene. They've had 2 turnovers, 2 very costly turnovers already in this game.
They'll pick up 2 yards. It'll bring up a 2nd down and 8 from the Venom 14-yard line. And that's the end of the first quarter, with the Venom leading it by a score of 35-6. Well, we look at the first quarter stats. 35-6 Venom on top. Total offense for the Venom, 64 yards, 28 for the Bombers. A lot of that, of course, because of the turnovers.
So first down and 10 now for the Bombers at the 14-yard line. And into the end zone goes Ingram. We've got a penalty flag. There was just one receiver back there and one defender, Rob Spells, as he was working against the Venom's David Irizarry, and the penalty marker came out immediately as there was contact in the end zone. That's going to go, I think, against the Venom and David Irizarry.
Comes Nate Davis and Marcus Rowe back into the defensive lineup.
It is holding against the Venom. Will result in a first down for the Bombers. Just underway here early in the second quarter in a 35-6 ball game. The Venom on top after a very quick start for the defending champions.
I wonder how many quarterbacks in the NFL would be out wanting to play defense.
He loves. Nate Davis loves playing defense and does it really, really well.
Be at first and goal at the 7-yard line of the Venom for the Bombers. Chance for them to kind of get themselves some momentum.
Ingram will be the motion man, lines up well behind the line of scrimmage along the left sideline. Two receivers come to the right. Ingram drops back, takes the snap, follows the lineman down toward the end zone, dives in, touchdown. And a nice block by Jermaine Blakely to get him in the end zone, and here come the penalty markers. Wow, from every possible direction.
What are we going to see the rest of the evening? More touchdowns or more penalty flags?
Right now it's a close race. The Bombers get the score because the extracurricular activities happened after the touchdown run. And again, a great run by Byron Ingram into the end zone. Nice job of following his blocker, Jermaine Blakely. And the penalty will go against Abilene on a late hit. That will be assessed on the kickoff. So here comes the, 2-point conversion try for the Bombers.
By the way, the 6th touchdown run of the year for Ingram.
He'll bring his team to the line of scrimmage. In the backfield with him is Alex Joyner to his right. Now Jarvis comes in motion to the right side. They'll give it to Joyner, and he dives into the end zone for the touchdown. For the extra point. Nate Davis upended him near the goal line, but he had enough momentum to get it into the end zone. And so that will result in the 2 points. And we'll make our score Amarillo 35, Abilene 14. Just early in this second quarter of play. And so the Bombers are back on the board once again.
On the drive, 2 plays, 16 yards, 49 seconds off the clock. Ingram with a 7-yard touchdown run. His 6th touchdown of the year.
And Ingram's done a nice job since coming into the ball game, engineering 2 drives for Abilene for their 2 scores in today's contest. Andre Coles started the ball game for the Bombers. And now the Venom should get good field position out of this because of the penalty that will be assessed here on the kickoff against Abilene.
And Mike, one thing probably the Venom need to be aware, you can do an onside kick down here, and that might be something that Abilene may want to try to do to get themselves maybe back in this game with an extra possession.
Venom have put some pretty good hands, guys, up on the front line. I don't know if they play there all the time or not, but they've got a few of them up there. Doug Williams and Anthony Clark among them. It's a bouncer that will be taken by an upback as he takes it down the right sideline, and that will be James Smith. Had it bounced to him, and the Venom will get good field position at the Abilene, let's see, where are the 18-yard line is where they'll spot it down. Venom lead it 35-14 with the football. Quarterback Nate Davis talking over the play with head coach Julian Reese. Saw West Texas A&M head coach Don Carthel down below us here a few moments ago. Of course, he is the former coach of the indoor team here in Amarillo. And they won a title themselves in his only season as head coach.
What did he ever do? Have anybody heard from him lately?
After that, he went on to coach a little more. I think he's doing a pretty good job. I bet the people in Abilene know all about Don Carthel.
Yeah. Winningest coach in WT history.
So from the 18, they drop back to pass. The pass is tipped up and intercepted at the 15-yard line. And looking for room is Desmond Rayford. And he's still going at the 15 and down now inside the 15 to the 12-yard line. Ball came free, but it's going to belong to Abilene as Rayford had the ball fall right into his arms as Nate Davis's pass was tipped very high into the air.
Well, now that gives a little momentum back to the Abilene Bombers, giving them a chance to cut the lead down to a couple of scores.
Boy, that could turn out to be a big one because Amarillo was in business down deep in Abilene territory, looking like they could easily score from that position on the field, and that would have increased their lead. But instead, we go the other way, and the Bombers have a chance to cut into that 35-14 lead as they have the football at the Venom 12. Still in at quarterback is Byron Ingram. Lawan Edwards up the field as the motion man. Into the end zone they go for Edwards, and he's claiming he was being held. No penalty marker. David Irizarry was defending for the Venom.
He also had a little help from the official back there. He was kind of on the back edge of the end zone. Couldn't get out of the way of the pattern.
So second down now, 2nd and 10 for the Bombers at the Venom 12-yard line. Clock running, under 13 minutes to play until halftime. Bombers send a receiver to each side of the field. Also in the backfield, Jeremiah Turner. Dropping back, Ingram. He lobs it out on the screen pass. Blakely has it, breaks tackles at the 5, and struggles his way down inside the 5-yard line. And that is a well-designed and well-run play by the Bombers. Blakely, he's fired up. They'll put it down just short of the 4-yard line, where it will be 3rd down now for Abilene. All right, let's see. Where they had that? They could have gotten a 1st down. Oh, they at the 2, I believe, is where the stick is. So it's 3rd and a couple from the 4. Ingram hands it off to Turner, spins out of one tackle, loses the football, and a scramble for it, and it looks like Abilene has recovered at the 1. And they do. Yeah, that could have been disaster for the Bombers. Finally falling on the loose football was Brian Ingram over there near the board. So all of that's going to result in a 1st down for Abilene, 1st and goal. And they will spot the ball down at the 1-yard line. So with 11 minutes to play, the Bombers knocking on the door, trying to chip away at the Venom lead and take advantage of the turnover. Ingram under center, Turner just to his right. And Turner gets the carry. He's hit at the 1, struggles, and he's in for the touchdown. Jeremiah Turner with the 1-yard touchdown dive. And the Bombers have converted the turnover. It's now 35-20. They've continued to go for 2 after each score, and it looks like they'll do that once again. Brian Ingram over there, along with Byron Ingram, talking with head coach Joe Brennan. They'll put the ball down and go for the 2-point conversion. Ingram huddles up his team. Alex Joyner lines up to the left of Ingram. Turner also inside in the backfield. The pitch to Turner, looks for running room, hit at the 1 and stopped at the 1. So the 2-point conversion fails, and our score remains Amarillo 35, Abilene 20 with 10:19 to play in this 2nd quarter.
In on the tackle, James Smith. And let's see who else was out there for the Venom. I think it was also Jared Williams making the tackle. That drive, 2 minutes, 41 seconds off the clock. 4 plays, 12 yards. And it's 35-20.
Well, Abilene's done a good job to get back into this ball game. It looked like it could be a Venom blowout early on, but the Bombers have come back and that time take advantage of the interception. Ball on the pass from Nate Davis, tipped high into the air. The Bombers back on the board once again, and now they'll kick off to the Venom.
Well, after they're down 28-0 since then, Bombers have outscored the Venom 20-7.
So Wally Moomin will kick off. Last time he kicked it into the stands. See if he can aim it a little better this time. And he squibs it right past one Venom player into the boards. Johnson handles it at the 8. Around a defender at the 10. 15, looks for room. Hit and dropped at the 17-yard line. Always exciting when Raymond Johnson Jr. gets his hands on the football. He is so cat-like quick.
Like he was running the kitchen out at Famous Dave's Barbecue, home of the media luncheons every week.
Another good thing about Raymond Johnson Jr. is that he's got the personality to go with some electrifying moves on the field. He's a great young man, very personable. I take my son sometimes to the luncheons, and he's 5, and he loves Raymond. He knows Raymond, and Raymond's always talking with him, and that's always nice to see. So from the 17-yard line, Venom will take over. Alex Watson and Johnson come to the near side as receivers. And in motion starts up the field. But the screen pass goes to Johnson at the 15, 20, 25. And stopped right there in his tracks near the 20-yard line. And a great open field tackle by Greg Geldell. Because Raymond Johnson Jr. had a head of steam.
And again, they used Williams as the man in motion to get out there and get a block on that initial part of the screen pass.
Anthony Clark comes into the game on this play for the Venom. Tim O'Neill in there as well. Doug Williams will be the receiver to the near side for the Venom. Watson split far to the right. And Clark in the middle. And here he comes in motion. Davis drops back to pass. Looking for Clark. Nothing there. Comes to the near sideline. Has Williams inside the 15. And he's bounced up against the wall right there. Wally Moomin making sure he doesn't go any further on the play. At the 12-yard line. Gain of 8 on the pass reception. Second and a couple for the Venom. Clock running. 8:35 to play until halftime. Amarillo leading by 15. Trying to add to that total now as they have a second down and 2. And the quick pass batted up into the air and knocked away. Jeremiah Turner got up in the air quickly and knocked it away. That last time he did that, it resulted in an interception.
So a big third down play for the Venom.
So 3rd and 2 now from the Bombers' 12-yard line for Amarillo. Venom will send Clark back deep as the motion man. Everybody else as a receiver on the right side as well. Clark heads toward the line of scrimmage, but they'll run the football, and Tim O'Neill, I think that's who it is the ball carrier, but he doesn't gain much of anything.
Squashed by Blakely, Radford, and Jarvis.
They're going to put it right back down at the 12. He got about half a yard out of it, maybe a yard. So it will be 4th down and 1 for the Venom.
They'll give him full yard. Dante Bright now comes in for Doug Williams on offense. Bright out of New Mexico Highlands. He'll be the motion man.
And he gets the carry. He's got a hole at the 10, and he's got the first down. It's hard to stop that kind of play. Dante Bright, again, came from deep and had a lot of momentum as he took the handoff.
So Bright comes out. Doug Williams comes right back in.
You know, when they signed Dante Bright, he's a veteran. He's played a lot of years here in Amarillo and didn't start the season with the team, but they signed him a few weeks ago, and Julian Reese, the head coach, said, well, he's just so versatile. He can do so many things well. Gives us a lot of depth at a lot of positions. And we see it right there.
1st and goal at the 7, 6:23 to go in the first half.
Davis drops back to pass, looks into the end zone. Now the pressure comes. He gets away and still has it. Throws finally and finds Doug Williams for the touchdown for the Venom. Williams lined up as a receiver on the left side, and as Nate Davis scrambled, he came all the way back across the back of the end zone and found a hole on the right side for the score.
It's his third touchdown of the night. Got another penalty flag down. I'm sure it's going to be some sort of penalty against the Venom, maybe.
Now it's gonna go against Abilene because.
Oh, okay.
And the coach arguing has also been penalized. The official had already thrown his flag, didn't have anything else to throw but his hat.
And now Jason Cunningham on for his 6th extra point attempt of the evening.
Been good on all of them so far. Again, Nate Davis is the holder. Kick on the way, and it's good. Venom lead it 42-20 as we are under 6 minutes to play in the first half. As Amarillo again answers the Abilene score and comes down and puts it in the end zone. So 42-20 your score. The Venom leading the Bombers.
Venom drive, longest of the evening, 6 plays, 33 yards, 3 minutes and 56 seconds. And the big play, of course, the 4th and 1 at the 11-yard line, and Dante Bright coming in to pick up 4 yards for a first down. Well, the Bombers have just run into a very upbeat Venom team tonight that used a couple of stops early on, a couple of turnovers to score big touchdowns, and got off to a 28-0 lead.
Has been a well-played game for the Venom so far. They've managed to take advantage of what Abilene has given them, and that has been some mistakes off of penalties and off of turnovers as well. And the Venom, as a good team will do, capitalized to the credit of the Bombers. They've not laid down. They've come back themselves and trying to scratch their way back into this one and make a game of it. And they've done that. And it's still definitely within reach, even though they're down 42-20. The Bombers not out of it by any stretch of the imagination.
Well, the Bombers got to come up with some stops in the second half and the rest of this half to try to get things turned around. They need to make a score.
Well, and that is a key, is not to fall any further behind before halftime. And we'll see if that happens or not. So the Lone Star Football League semifinals taking place tonight here in Amarillo and also in Laredo. The championship game coming up next weekend. And it's time to be determined. The Rattlesnakes hosting the New Mexico Stars. That's the number 2 seed. Laredo Rattlesnakes against the number 3 seed New Mexico Stars. And the top seeded Amarillo Venom hosting the number 4 seed Abilene Bombers here tonight. So Lamont Edwards drops back deep to receive the kickoff for Abilene along with Rob Spells. Jason Cunningham to kick off for the Amarillo Venom.
Cunningham has been perfect on extra points tonight, 6 of 6, but his kickoffs have been terrific also.
Venom have been very good on special teams. That's one of the 3 phases. They're trying to win in tonight's contest. So far they have. Here's Cunningham's kick. It's a low line drive shot. Turner has it, loses it, gets it back at the 20, 25. He's to the 20, 15, to the 10, to the 5, and drags a tackler into the end zone for the touchdown. What a play.
It's going to be a 30-yard kickoff return by Turner.
Nothing that David Irizarry could do about it as he hit him around the 5-yard line. And Turner was not to be denied as he just drug him the rest of the way as he had a hell of his ankle. And a terrific play on the kickoff return by Jeremiah Turner of Abilene.
It takes only 11 seconds off the clock.
So we'll see what the Bombers would like to do here. They're going to go for two once again. Byron Ingram, the quarterback, over there talking with Coach Joe Branham.
Well, forget the kickoff return. They're going to mark him down to 12. I really didn't hear what the referee said.
I didn't either. But they spot the ball down at the 12-yard line. Venom shuffling players in and out. Ingram's under center. Blakely back there with him. Motion man is Edwards. Ingram lobs it into the end zone for Ingram, but it's too high and incomplete. Out of play on the far side. Doug Williams Davis was over there in coverage among the Venom, along with Dante Bright. So it makes the score now 42-26 with 5:23 to play in the first half. Venom have never trailed in this one, jumped out to a 28-0 lead.
Okay, I think I've got it now. They gave him the touchdown, 42-26, and that must have been a penalty, taken back 10 yards to the 12, and that was the attempt for the 2 points. Sorry about that.
That's okay. As long as we get it figured out, it may be 20 minutes after the action, but you did better than I did. I was pretty sure it was a penalty of some sort that moved them backwards, but nonetheless, they failed on the 2-point conversion pass, and now Wally Booman will kick off for Abilene. Raymond Johnson Jr., the deep back for the Venom.
Well, they've got it down to 42-26. It's a 2-score game for the Bombers.
Dante Bright, the up back for the Venom, standing between the 15 and 20. I'm sure it's motivation for Raymond Johnson Jr. to see the opposition return a kick for a touchdown. Bright has it rolled to him at the 18. He's got a head of steam across midfield and finally wrestled down, I think. Well, they had a pretty good tussle going on. Couldn't get him down. But finally, Desmond Rayford does manage to make the stop. But good field position here for the Venom. They'll mark it at the 21-yard line of the Bombers. Still plenty of time to go in this second quarter. 5:14 left. Venom will try to answer the Abilene score once again.
Offensive line so far tonight, Eric Waltz at center. On the left side is Levante Jackson. And on the right side is Janorius McGill. Those guys have given pretty good coverage and protection for Nate Davis tonight.
Johnson and Watson split wide to the right side. Williams comes left. Nate Davis, the quarterback, under center. Drops straight back, looks right, now comes back to the left side, and a little toss underneath is complete near the 15-yard line to Doug Williams. He was injured in last week's game at Laredo, hurt his hand, and they were afraid that he might have broken a bone in his hand, but whatever he did, he's a quick healer, and he's back out there tonight, although he does have it heavily bandaged up. They'll give him to the 14-yard line on the pass play. Gain of 7. Second down and 3 for the Venom. Davis sends his man in motion and drops back to pass. Throws it, but behind the intended receiver, as Alex Watson was open over the middle of the field, but the pass behind him and incomplete. Now Anthony Clark set to come into the contest for the Venom on third down. Third and about 3. Just over 4 minutes to play in the first half. 42-26. Venom on top with the ball, facing a third down and 3 from the Bombers' 14-yard line. Watson wide right, Williams wide left, and Anthony Clark in motion up the middle of the field. Pass comes left side, though, along the sideline, and it's complete for the first down near the 10-yard line to Doug Williams. Give him the 9 out of it, so a gain of 4 yards. More than that. Venom at the 9 of the Bombers. Nate Davis under center. Tim O'Neill in the backfield with him just to his right. Davis dropping back. Has a lot of time. Can't find anyone open. Now does. Into the end zone for the touchdown. Doug Williams again. Boy, that's why they want him in the lineup. I'm sure everyone had their heart skip a few beats when he was injured last week in a meaningless game at Laredo. But the Venom get the touchdown and increase their lead now to 48-26 with 2:54 to play in the second quarter. Here's the extra point kick now from the Venom's Jason Cunningham. Out of the hold of Nate Davis. Another one good from Cunningham. Perfect on the night as well. So the Venom strike again on a well-executed drive right down the field. 49-26 your score. Venom are off and running here in this first half. It's been a very solid first half of football, Phil, for the Amarillo Venom.
Doug Williams with his 4th touchdown catch of the night. He's got catches of 9, 8, 7, and 9. Cunningham with another extra point, 2:40 left in the half. 49-26 Venom, 4 plays, 22 yards, 2 minutes and 27 seconds.
So Abilene with 2:40 to work with here before the end of the first half.
I remember when Jared Cunningham kicked for Tascosa High School. He was a darn good kicker. And then we just kind of lost track of him when he went up to Montana State. But he certainly did a fine job up there. He was all conference a couple of times and player of the week several times. And just did a nice job for the Bobcats up there in Montana State.
He certainly did. So good of a job that he had tryouts with NFL teams.
Yeah.
But unfortunately unable to hook up with one of them. I say unfortunately, maybe for him, but fortunate for the Amarillo Venom that he didn't, because he's here kicking for the Venom. And he lines up for another kickoff. Rob Spells back deep along with Lamont Edwards for the Venom. Here's the line drive kick. Goes to the right side. Edwards handles it at the goal line. 10 to the 15. Bounces off the wall and then stopped as he crosses the 20-yard line. David Irizarry coming up to knock him out on the far sideline for the Venom. Got some help from Stephen Harris. So pretty good field position here for the Bombers at the 21-yard line. And they trail 49-26. 2:31 left to go in the first half. They have at quarterback. It's been Ingram as of late, and it still is. Byron Ingram under center. Blakely to his right. Jarvis the motion man, or Jeremiah, and he's under pressure. Ingram now throws, and it's caught at the 15-yard line to the 10, and down at the 6. They're saying, though, he's going to be spotted down back at the 15-yard line where he went up against the wall and contact was made.
Terrific way to get away from the potential sack that time by Ingram and look for Edwards downfield. And limping back is Bradley, one of the offensive linemen. Willie Bradley out of Central Oklahoma.
Definitely want to get the ball into the hands of their playmaker, Lamont Edwards. And they were able to do that on that play. Down just inside the 15-yard line. And now a flag comes out. Looks like the penalty's got to be against the Bombers yet again. We've said that a lot tonight.
Get up to the 20 where it'll be 1st and 15.
Jermaine Blakely doesn't like the call, but it goes against the Bombers. Puts it back just inside the 20-yard line. Edwards splits out to the left side. Spells comes to the right. And in the slot between them is Brian Ingram. Now Edwards back behind, in motion, heads upfield. As Ingram drops back to pass, he gets away from the pressure at the 20. Hit and dropped at the 17-yard line.
And guess who made the tackle? His quarterback counterpart, Nate Davis.
So Davis coming up to knock him off his feet.
Now with 58.7 seconds. Be the 1-minute warning.
And when we go back to play, it will be Abilene ball at the Venom 16, trying to cut into a 49-26 lead as we approach halftime. And I know, Phil, as well as the Venom have played in the first half, I have a feeling that Julian Reese, as he tends to do, and you know this, you've talked with him after games that look like the Venom have played really, really well, and he never seems to be happy. He's one of those perfectionist coaches that really gets the most out of his team.
Well, as they say, if Daddy ain't happy, nobody happy, as they say, but he is really a tremendous young gentleman that I have come to know over the years that he's played here and coached here, and he is, I'm just going to tell you, really a good coach and a good family man, too. So it's been nice to be around him. He knows what he does. And granted, he'll get on them because a couple of weeks ago, when they gave 72 to New Mexico, we had to do the interview on the way back to the locker room. And then he went in quickly, and as they say, there might have been a little intense statements back there made.
I think you're probably right. He had calmed down a little bit by Wednesday when we spoke with him at the media luncheon, but nonetheless, he was not real happy after the ball game.
He seems to be happy when he gets a big dessert during the luncheon, doesn't he?
Yes. I think that's safe to say. And we go back to play after the timeout. The Bombers with the ball at the Venom 16-yard line. Quarterback Byron Ingram under center. Blakely behind him. Edwards in motion, but they give it to Blakely. And he will have the first down and more. Boy, he's a load to try to tackle as he just carries the pile inside the 10-yard line. It'll be first and goal for the Bombers. I'd hate to try to tackle him. I'd hate to try to tackle anybody, but one like him in particular, he is a bull.
Well, at 6'4", 340, he's not only the refrigerator, he's the freezer also attached to it.
So first down at the first and goal at the
third down. Remember they
I beg your pardon. They didn't get the first down. I thought they were going to put him down inside the 5, but they spotted back down at the 8-yard line. And he's still not sure about it. But nonetheless, Ingram is under center. Blakely to his right. Edwards approaches the line in motion. They pitch it to Blakely, but great penetration by the Venom. And they bring him down.
Well, you got to have a big guy to get him down. Marcus Rowe did it. And we got official timeout. Looks like Blakely. That helmet came off, and he basically got bulldogged down by Rowe.
Well, you said it right. You're going to have a big man to bring him down. And they sent to Marcus Rowe, and again, the whole Venom front got great penetration to disrupt that play from the word go. But you sure don't want to see anybody down, and Blakely is still down on the turf. As you said, his helmet came flying off at the end of that play.
Danny Snyder is the defensive coordinator. That's one thing that they've had over the last 2 or 3 years, guys who have been on this coaching staff who are familiar with everything. And Danny Snyder is really hard on that defense. And now we're starting to get some folks around the training staff for both teams. Coach Joe Brannon looking for some, I'm not sure what he's looking for. Now they got him up.
And a good round of applause from the fans here in Amarillo. They appreciate the hard play, that's for sure. He comes off limping, though. So with 41.1 seconds left, we've got stoppage of play here. The Bombers at the 9-yard line.
I believe that's their first time out tonight. Bring up a 4th down and 4 from the 9-yard line. They get it reached just inside the 5 to advance the chains.
So loss on that last running attempt by Blakely and the Bombers. So big play right here. Venom would love to keep them off the board here at the end of the first half and even have a chance themselves to possibly score once again in the last minute of this second quarter. So Byron Ingram now under center for the Bombers on 4th and 4 from the Venom 9-yard line. Turner's in the backfield as well now on this play for the Venom. Edwards comes in motion back behind to the right side. Approaches the line. Ingram drops back, falls down, throws into the end zone, and it's incomplete.
Well, he just lost his balance. He was going back, and I think he tripped over his own feet. And the only guy that he had a possibility of getting it to was Lawan Edwards in the back of the end zone. He had not made his cut to the left side to be able to get that one complete. So that's a big defensive stop for the Venom. And with 37.1 seconds left in the first half, they've got a chance to make this a 30-point lead by the end of the half.
It was a pretty good attempt at it by Byron Ingram because, as you said, he just got the feet tangled up. You could see him lose his balance, but he still managed to loft it into the end zone and at least give Edwards a try at it, but he just couldn't quite run underneath it. And as you said, now a great opportunity for the Venom here with 37.1 seconds left. Nate Davis gets the play from head coach Julian Reese. Watson comes to the near side. And I think that's Doug Williams at the top. Johnson in motion up the field. Davis under pressure, breaks the tackle, hit from behind, lets it go, and it goes into the stands. Pass goes incomplete.
Davis showing his quickness there to be able to get out of pressure. Got another Bomber down with an injury. That looks like Rayford.
Yeah, he's hobbled, and he's going to come off now, and replacing him will be big Kevin Myers. So second down and 10 now for Amarillo.
29.9 seconds left.
Fortunate that Nate Davis was not hurt on that play because that pressure from the backside, you just never know when it's going to come. And it did on that particular play. Good hustle by the Bombers. Davis under center. Drops back, scrambles, pump fake, lets it go, flag down, deep down the field. It's incomplete. Doug Williams, the intended receiver, and Wally Moomin back there with him.
I got a feeling with the flag down, this may be offensive holding.
Flag in the backfield, and it will go against the Venom. By the way, it's good to see Blakely back in there. Taken up a few minutes ago, but anchoring down the middle here for the defense.
That'll back it up 10 yards to the 3-yard line. It'll be second down and 16.
Johnson, the motion man, as he starts upfield. Quick toss comes to the near side to Watson, but it's behind him as penalty flags fly once again. I have a feeling this is on the offensive side of the ball again. Just as Davis took the snap, the flags came out. Okay. That's why I'm up here and not down there.
I got a feeling it might be an illegal defense call. But it's a 1st and 10 at the 9-yard line.
Ball resting just short of the 9. 20.7 seconds left to play in this first half. New life for the Venom here after the Bomber penalty. Johnson to the left, Williams to the right. Watson comes in motion on the far outside. As Davis looks left now, back right, under pressure, lets it go. Williams almost came up with it on the far side, but it's incomplete.
And Blakely almost got himself a safety down in the end zone against Davis.
He was really applying the pressure back there for Abilene. Draped all over Nate Davis as he let the ball go. And that's a big guy to have draped on you.
Well, Davis is no small chicken himself.
No, he's not. He's a strong quarterback, too.
Now Blakely's going to come off. And Joyner will check in for him on the defensive line.
So 2nd down and 10 now for the Venom. Davis comes to the near side. It's caught on a great catch by Alex Watson. Scoots down the sideline across the 20.
Picks up a first down. 10:21 seconds left in the first half. They'll mark it at the 22.
Venom trying to squeeze one more score out of it here. Try to eclipse the 50-point barrier here in the first half. Watson goes to the right side this time. Johnson in the slot on the right side. And also on the right side is Williams as Davis drops back. Flags all over the place. Open is Johnson. He's got it inside the 5-yard line and scoots into the end zone on the carpet.
But let's check the flags.
Officials huddling up near midfield. Tim O'Neill of the Venom is saying it's against the Bombers. Officials haven't given us any signal yet. And a long discussion ensuing here by the referees. Setting penalties will replay the down.
Looks like we had a personal foul against the Venom, and now here comes Jason Cunningham on for a field goal attempt. This will be a 45-yard effort from the left hash.
Long field goal try here for Jason Cunningham at the Venom. 3.3 seconds left. Chaz Russell drops back, hoping to return it. Kicks on the way, and it hits the cross beam on the top of the Cal Farley Coliseum and falls back to the field of play. So no good on the field goal try for the Venom, and that will be the end of the first half of play. And our score is Amarillo over Abilene, 49-26, as the teams go to the locker room. So a big lead early for the Venom. They were off and running in this one. Took a 28-0 lead. Also, Abilene finally getting on the board at that point, but the Venom would score right after that to lead 35-7. And the Venom have pulled out now to the 49-26 halftime lead. So the Bombers have their work cut out for them if the Venom continue to play as they have so far here in this first half of action.
Well, the Amarillo Venom leading at 49-26. We'll bring you up to date on the halftime stats. Okay, that Nate Davis has thrown 6 touchdown passes in the first half. 3 to Doug Williams. 4 to Doug Williams and 2 to Raymond Johnson Jr. And Jeremiah Turner with a big 30-yard kickoff return for Abilene. So it is halftime here in the Lone Star Football League semifinal. The Amarillo Venom 49 and the Abilene Bombers 26. As you continue watching on B2 Networks on the webcast, we'll go ahead and take a timeout here. Let you watch the halftime activities. We'll come back give you halftime stats and scoring plays. we welcome you back to Amarillo in the Cal Farley Coliseum as the halftime score, the AmarilloVenom leading the Abilene Bombers by a score of 49-26. Bit of an upset down in Laredo at halftime. New Mexico Stars leading the Laredo Rattlesnakes by a score of 29-19. Let's take a look at the halftime stats. First downs, Venom 15, Bombers 7. 10 yards rushing for Abilene, 24 for the Venom, 8. 55 yards passing for Abilene, 123 for the Venom. Total offense, 20 plays, 79 yards for Abilene, 26 plays, 131 yards for the Venom. Kickoff return, 7 for 114, including a 30-yarder for a touchdown for Jeremiah Turner. And then also fumbles lost. 2 have been lost by the Abilene Bombers tonight. There's also been 1 pick by the Venom. So that's a +1 in the category of turnovers. Now the penalties, we told you about the most penalized team, the Venom, least penalized, the Bombers. Bombers, 8 penalties, 54 yards in the first half. Venom, 4 for 16. Possession time in the first half, 14-10 for the Bombers, 15-50 for the AmarilloVenom. Third down conversions, 2 of 3 for Amarillo, 2 of 4 for Abilene. Fourth down conversions, 0 of 2 for Abilene, 1 of 1 for Amarillo. Red zone chances, 3 of 4 for Abilene, 7 of 7 for the AmarilloVenom. In the first half for the Bombers, their leading rusher, Jermaine Blakely, 5 carries, 13 yards, 1 touchdown. Ryan Ingram, 3 carries, 11 yards, and a touchdown. Ingram, 3 of 5 passing, 55 yards. Andre Coles, 0 of 3. Leading receiver, Brian Ingram, 25 yards, 1 catch. Lawan Edwards, 1 for 22, and Jermaine Blakely, 1 for 8. For the Venom, leading rusher in the first half, Tim O'Neill, 2 carries for 4 yards and a touchdown. Dante Bright, 1 carry, 4 yards. That's when he came on the fourth down and 1 play deep in Bonner territory. Nate Davis, outstanding night through the air, 15 of 23, 123 yards, 6 touchdowns, 1 pick. Doug Williams, 7 catches, 54 yards, 4 touchdowns. Alex Watson, 5 catches, 49 yards. And Raymond Johnson Jr., 3 catches, 20 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Desmond Rayford has the only pick, and he returned that for 27 yards. In the kick returns, Diamond Weaver for the Bombers, 3 for 34. Lawan Edwards, 3 for 59. For the Venom, Dante Bright, 2 returns for 20 yards. James Smith, 1 for 6. Scoring plays in the first half, Raymond Johnson Jr., 3-yard touchdown pass from Nate Davis. Cunningham extra point good, 12-13 to go. Venom up 7-0. Doug Williams, after a stop, catches a 9-yard touchdown pass from Nate Davis. Cunningham's extra point is good, 7:50 to go first quarter, 14-0 Venom. After a turnover, Raymond Johnson Jr., 4-yard touchdown pass from Davis. Cunningham the extra point, 6:32 to go in the quarter, 21-0 Venom. And another turnover, Doug Williams, 8-yard pass play from Davis. Cunningham the extra point, 5:44 to go in the first quarter, and they're up 28-0. Abilene does come back. Alex Joyner in a 1-yard touchdown run. The run for 2 failed. 2:05 to go, 28-6 Venom. And then Tim O'Neill from 3 yards out scores with 33.5 seconds to go in the quarter. Cunningham's extra point makes it 35-6. Bombers start to turn it around in the second quarter. Byron Ingram comes in at quarterback after the 28-0 deficit. He scores on a 7-yard touchdown run. Alex Joyner's run for 2 is good, 14-14, 35-14 Venom. And then Jeremiah Turner, after a pick play, runs it in from a yard out. Run fails for 2, 10-19 to play, 35-20. Then Doug Williams and Davis hook up again, this time from 7 yards out. 5:55 to go after the Cunningham extra point, 42-20 Venom. And then Jeremiah Turner, a 30-yard touchdown return. Kickoff return. Pass for 2 fails, 5:23 to go. And the Venom leading 42-26. And late in the first half, Doug Williams scores 9-yard pass play from Davis. 49-26.
And here we go with the second half kickoff. Jason Cunningham for the Venom bounces it down the field, and it will land in the hands of the Bombers' Rob Spells, looking for running room, and finally is shoved backwards. So good coverage on the kickoff to start this second half for the Venom. The Bombers will start from deep in their own territory at about the 10-yard line. Looks like it's where they're going to spot it down. So as Phil told you, a little bit of an upset possibly brewing down in Laredo tonight in that semifinal. And so far, the seeds holding up here in the first half of this game as the top-seeded Venom have the lead over the fourth-seeded Bombers. Abilene with the ball to start this third quarter from their own 10-yard line. The quarterback will be Byron Ingram. He definitely had the better success in the first half of the two. Andre Cole started the game, played the first two series, and then Byron Ingram came in for the Bombers and has been in since. Spells goes in motion. Coles looks downfield, or Ingram rather, but his pass is short and behind the intended receiver, Rob Spells.
Spells made a good move on defensive back David Irizarry, had him turned around, and fortunately the pass for the Venom fell quite short, and it's second down and 10.
So Byron Ingram once again gets the play from the head coach Joe Brannon of Abilene on 2nd and 10 from the 10. Brian Ingram, the receiver, to the near side. Spells goes to the far side as the motion man comes down the field, dropping back, throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. Ingram trying to find Brian Ingram. Pass a little low and incomplete, and it's third down right off the bat for the Bombers.
And the reason why he had to get that pass off a little quicker than he wanted to out of the break, big Marcus Rowe was coming in for a possible sack in the end zone. So it's third down and 10 from the 10.
Well, that's where the Venom defense has had success this season, is when they've been able to get pressure up front on the opposing quarterback. And those defensive backs have been able to come up with some big plays. Third down and 10 now for the Bombers. Ingram takes the snap. Has time. Can't find anyone open now. Goes deep down the far side, and a great adjustment for the football. And Rob Spells holds it in, and a flag comes in at the end of the play.
And the coverage that time for the Venom was Kevin Brown. I think he's probably going to get called for contact down the field.
It is pass interference against the Venom. So it's a first down for the Bombers on the big pass play to the Amarillo 14-yard line. 49-26 score at halftime, and here the opening possession of this third quarter for the Bombers. They get a big play and move down to the Venom 14 as Ingram breaks the huddle, leads his team to the line of scrimmage. Two receivers to the left side, single receiver right. And they'll fake the handoff to Ingram. Under pressure, Ingram lets it go to Brian Ingram. He's got it at the 10, makes a nice move, and breaks one tackle, struggles his way down to the 5-yard line.
Well, the strategy is extremely important for the Bombers this half. Score on every possession. You got to make some defensive stops. If you can do that, you get yourself back in this ball game.
That's a well-designed and well-run play by the Abilene Bombers. As Brian Ingram started out as a receiver on the right side, came back in motion and underneath the quarterback, Byron Ingram, and then caught the pass on the near sideline. So it is second down and about a yard to go for the first down from the 5. Ingram takes the snap, hands it off. Blakely, the runner, and he falls forward for the first down. Short of the goal line, though, as the knee touched down at the 3. It'll be first and goal for the Bombers at the Venom 3-yard line. So the Bombers inside the Venom 5, and they'll hand it off to Big Blakely again, and he is tripped up short of the goal line. Stretches forward down to the 1. see which Venom player had a hold of him, but they brought him down pretty quickly. A hard guy to tackle. So 2nd and goal from the 1 for the Bombers. Trying to open up this third quarter with a touchdown. They'll give it again to Blakely, and he muscles his way into the end zone for the Bombers score. Successful opening possession to start the third quarter for the Abilene Bombers. It's now 49-32. Jarius Jarvis coming back into the game. Abilene has gone for 2 on every score so far tonight. They will again. Again, without their usual kicker.
And the request of Brandon, Coach Brandon, to move it from the right hash to the left hash.
So out of the shotgun set, Byron Ingram. The quarterback takes the snap and hands it off. Breaking a tackle is Turner, and he's hit at the 1 and dropped short of the goal line.
I think Tim O'Neill denied him the goal line, didn't he?
Yeah, Tim O'Neill made the play near the goal line after the Venom's Anthony Clark had a shot at him a little farther back. So defensed well by the Venom, and our score remains Amarillo 49 and Abilene 32 with 10:38 to play here in the third quarter of this Lone Star Football League semifinal.
On the drive, 7 plays, 40 yards, 4 minutes, and 5 seconds. That's the longest drive of the night for the Bombers.
That's exactly what Abilene wanted to do coming out of the locker room. To get some early momentum, take it down, they get the ball first and score, and that shifts the pressure back to the Venom. Now the defense will need to stop for the Bombers, and that's been few and far between so far tonight.
Again, they didn't bring the regular kicker, Felipe Martinez, on the trip, so Wally Moomin, probably not one of your better place kickers. But he is a good kickoff man, we think. And, you always got to be on guard for that onside kick to see if you can make something happen early in this second half.
That's a big loss for the Bombers because Martinez is one of the better kickers in the league. And I'm sure they definitely miss him. But Wally Moomin will give it his best shot as he kicks off from the goal line. Raymond Johnson Jr., the deep back for the Venom. And a threat to take it the distance anytime he touches the football. Here's Moomin's kick. It's high and will go into the cross beam up atop the Civic Center Coliseum. And will fall back to the turf. So the Venom will take advantage of that. Another mistake in the kicking game. So good field position to start the first possession for the Venom here in this third quarter as they try to answer the Bombers' score to start off the second half. Officials will place it down at the 20. And Nate Davis, the quarterback of the Venom, will bring his team to the line of scrimmage. Doug Williams, 4 touchdown catches in the first half for Amarillo. He splits out wide to the right side. And now before the play, we've got whistles and flags. Going to be against the Venom. That'll scoot it back to the 15-yard line. Johnson will be the motion man. He lines up way behind quarterback Nate Davis. Down in the left slot, and they'll throw it to Johnson. He's got it at the 23, out to the 25, but another yellow hanky back at the 15-yard line. This one's kind of starting, Phil, like the first half did. We had a lot of penalty markers in that first half, especially in the first quarter. It's going to go against the Bombers. Venom look like they're going to decline this one.
So they'll take the play. They'll pick up of 7 yards.
The Venom will have the football at the Bombers' 23. 49-32 score. Abilene opened up the third quarter with a drive for a touchdown. And the Venom now with their first possession here in this third quarter. Nobody's really quite sure where the ball needs to be. The Venom did decline the penalty, right?
That's what I thought. Yeah, maybe they've changed their mind. Julian Reese coming over to the head linesman said, "What's going on?"
I don't think he knows. Well, the ball will be spotted at the 20, so that's the Venom 20.
I have no idea.
Don't either. Maybe they didn't take the penalty, didn't take the play, but had to take the penalty. So from the 20 on first down, Davis pump fake, scrambles right, and now is wrestled out of bounds as he hits the boards on the near side. Coming up was Turner to take him out. Just a short gain of about a yard is all.
We'll bring up a second down and 9.
Anthony Clark into the game for the Venom.
Maybe that was a phantom play that ever got run.
Alex Watson will be the motion man, the deep receiver for the Venom. Now Dante Bright comes in as a late substitution to replace Anthony Clark. And there's confusion all over the place. Julian Reese, the head coach of the Venom, says, "We got to figure this out."
Yeah, they'll spend a timeout because he was getting close to the clock going late. So the Venom will take a timeout. And I did figure out how to get on Facebook with the Laredo team. So
you're just media savvy these days. Social media.
It's scary.
Social media may not ever be the same if you're on it. But
it won't be.
That is kind of nice, though, to be able to follow what they're doing down in Laredo. In New Mexico, the Stars had a lead over the second-seeded Rattlesnakes earlier. We'll get you an update on that. Here it's 49-32. The Amarillo Venom leading the Abilene Bombers. But the Bombers not going away. They did what they wanted to do out of the locker room, and that was take the second half kickoff and march it down the field for a score. Now the Venom on offense, but they have had some confusion. And so quickly Julian Reese called a timeout to straighten everyone out.
I was going to make, at the end of the first quarter down there in Laredo, Snakes were up 19-12. So 17 unanswered points by the Stars in the second quarter, and they held Laredo scoreless in that second quarter.
Wow. We'll keep you posted on that score. Of course, the winner of that one plays the winner of this one for the Lone Star Football League Championship next weekend. If Amarillo wins, they'll host the championship game right here at the Civic Center Coliseum. Also actually called the Cal Farley Coliseum and Coors Light Field. All right, apparently Julian Reese has straightened everyone out as to what they're supposed to do and where they're supposed to go. And quarterback Nate Davis is under center. Alex Watson, the motion man, down the far sideline he goes. Dropping back, Davis has a lot of time, now scrambles, throws back over the middle, but behind the intended receiver, Alex Watson.
Big rush that time by the Bombers' Jarius Jarvis. Put some pressure on Davis and caused that pass to be launched a little quicker than he wanted to.
Had a lot of time initially in the play, but couldn't find a receiver open, then had to scramble as the pressure came by Jarvis and company. Forced the bad throw from Nate Davis. So after the incompletion, it's third down, 3rd and 9 for the Venom at their own 21-yard line. 2 receivers left, single receiver right, and Doug Williams is the motion man on the right side. Davis drops back, goes to Williams along the near sideline, and he's got it before he's taken out of bounds. Or up against the boards, I guess it is. But that's a first down for the Amarillo Venom. They complete the pass play from Nate Davis to Doug Williams.
Williams such an inviting target at 6'5", Played at Panhandle State University up in Goodwill.
First down and 10. Venom at the 18 of the Bombers. Williams again goes in motion down the right sideline. Pump fake to him. Now goes back to the left side to Davis. It's caught by Watson at the 10 and down inside the 5-yard line.
Boy, what a great move he made out there on the sideline after making the little curl catch. He outfoxed the defensive back. That was Archie Reed. Now Reed will go back over to the other side to guard Doug Williams.
Down to the 4, first and goal, Venom. They'll hand it off. Looking for the end zone is Alex Watson. He's got it around the right end for the score.
And that's his first touchdown of the night from 4 yards out for Alex Watson.
So the Venom answered the Bombers score out of the locker room. 7:09 to play in this third period. Now 55-32 as Amarillo continues to hang on to that lead and not let the Bombers draw any closer. They get it down to a 2-score deficit. The Venom pull right back out. Here's the extra point kick from Jason Cunningham, and it's good. So under 7 minutes to play now here in this third quarter from the Amarillo Civic Center. The Venom leading over the Bombers 55-32. 56-32 after the extra point. So each team has scored out of the locker room here in the third quarter.
5 plays, 30 yards, 3 minutes, 24 seconds. Alex Watson with a 4-yard touchdown run. And Jason Cunningham continues to be perfect on the night. 8 of 8, and it's 56-32, 6:54 to go in the third quarter.
So the Bombers will go back to work, try to answer once again. They've just not been able to slow down the Venom offense tonight. Did have the one stop on the turnover in the first half that resulted in a big return off the interception and an eventual touchdown. But that's been about the only time that the Venom offense has sputtered tonight. They also were unable to score on that last possession of the first half. They tried the field goal as the drive ended, but couldn't get that either. So just a couple of stops tonight by Abilene on defense. And now Jason Cunningham will kick off once again. Milan Edwards and Rob Spells back deep to return the kickoff for Abilene. And here's Cunningham's kick. Line driver takes a high hop. And at the 3-yard line, it's Edwards across the 10. 15 has room at the 20. Flags from every direction as he races down close to the 15-yard line. But way back in the Bombers' end of the field, we've got penalty markers.
By the way, that was the 10th touchdown run of the year for Alex Watson.
10 touchdown runs for Alex Watson. So penalty against the Bombers will wipe out the nice return. All the way back to the 7-yard line is where the ball will be spotted. Byron Ingram will stay in at quarterback. Officials still haven't put the ball down on the field. Both teams have broken the huddle and are lined up. Still waiting to find out where the line of scrimmage is. And they finally spot it down at the 8. So Ingram under center. Sends a man in motion. He drops back, throws, and it's caught by Brian Ingram at midfield. He was the motion man and came downfield and cut back up to make the catch at the 25. First and 10 for the Abilene Bombers on the big pass play. From the 8 to the 25.
Pickup of 17 yards, another first and 10. 6:11 to go in the third quarter. 56-32 Venom.
Harris with the coverage on that last play defensively for Amarillo. But from midfield, first down, Abilene. Here goes Spells down in motion, and they'll go to Spells in the end zone, but it's picked off. And for the AmarilloVenom, Stephen Harris goes high and brings it down. But we have a penalty flag back near the 20-yard line. Harris was trying to run it back. But the officials blow the whistle. And Harris just beaten on the previous play by Ingram. That time Spells was the receiver, and Harris picked it off. But now the officials gather up to talk about the flag that was thrown back near the Bombers' 20-yard line.
Holding against the Bombers. That, of course, will be declined. And I think they're going to rule that Harris was down by contact in the end zone, which means I think they get it at the 5, if I'm not mistaken.
So it will be Venom football leading 56-32 now with 5:45 to play in the third quarter. And it will be the 5-yard line where the Venom will have the football on the touchback. But a great play by Stephen Harris. You know, those defensive backs in indoor football, they've really got a tough job. And Coach Julian Reese has talked a lot about his secondary this season. He's benched some players at times and mixed up the lineups. But finally, he feels like they're playing pretty well back there for the most part. And Harris with the big play there. Now, Nate Davis and the Venom offense go to work. And a quick toss along the left sideline is caught near the 10-yard line by Doug Williams. And Wally moving there to make sure he goes no further. Gain of about 5. Almost 6. In fact, we will call it a 6-yard gain. They'll spot it down right near the 11-yard line.
Marcus Rowe comes in to play some offensive tackle. The gentle giant is what I call him.
He is big, no doubt about it. Second down and a long 4 for the Venom. Davis drops straight back, has a lot of time, throws overneath, and it's caught. Doug Williams wrestled to the sideline around the midfield stripe. There's going to be a late flag on the Venom on a blaster of a hit.
Eric Waltz came down and knocked down one of the Bombers. So they'll probably get the completion and then personal foul. So they'll get the first down, but they'll back it up. I believe the 17-yard line. So it'll be a 1st and 10 for the AmarilloVenom at their own 17-yard line. 4:38 to go in the third quarter. Venom leading at 56-32.
So from the 17, on first down, Alex Watson will retreat. He'll be the motion man. Johnson and Williams to the right side. Dropping back, Davis. Pump fake. Scrambles. Still running. Now throws downfield, and it's caught at the 10-yard line by Williams.
Caught it right in front of Moomin, and that ball was just floating. And do we have another flag down?
I don't think so. Oh, yeah, there is. Sure is. I wasn't sure whether the ball was intended for Williams or Raymond Johnson Jr. He was kind of streaking down the near sideline.
It's against the Bombers, so going to be declined, of course.
So to the 10-yard line, 1st and goal for the AmarilloVenom.
Gain of 23 yards on that pass play to Doug Williams.
Great job by Nate Davis to buy some time.
Backup quarterback and our national anthem singer, Gautier, checks in.
did a nice job on the national anthem, too. He splits out wide to the left side as a receiver. Motion is Johnson. They come to the near side, though, to Watson, and he's tangled up along the sidelines and won't go anywhere.
Bombers had that one sniffed out as Moomin makes the tackle.
Yeah. Tried to fool the Bombers as all of the action went to the left side. Quick pass to the right didn't work. Just a gain of a yard. 2nd and goal from the 9 now for the Venom. Winding down the third quarter. 3:20 and counting. Venom break the huddle. O'Neal in the backfield. Davis under center. Davis scrambling and throwing in the end zone, but nobody home. And another penalty marker on the play. In fact, 2 flags.
The initial indication is holding against the Venom.
Well, that play just didn't look good from the start. Again, looked like some confusion on the part of the Venom.
Now Doug Williams comes back in for Gonquier.
Like you can tell by the crowd reaction, it's against the Venom.
I'll place the ball back at the 14-yard line. Will be 2nd and goal.
So after the penalty, Venom go back to work at the 14 of the Bombers. Watson will split wide to the left side. Johnson in the slot is to the left side. And Williams, the motion man, also left. And the pass is picked off at the 10-yard line. Nobody home for the Venom, but right there waiting on it was Chaz Russell for Abilene. And he's got himself an interception.
I'm not sure what Davis missed on that coverage that time, but Chaz Russell came right up in there and made the big pick. And that's the kind of defensive stop that the Bombers need to get back in this game. Down 56-32, 2:37 to go in the third quarter.
That is the 6th interception on the season for Chaz Russell, and that ties him now for, I believe, the Lone Star Conference lead with David Irizarry at 6. And Russell didn't have to work too hard for that one, as Nate put it right in his hands. But I'm not sure it was all Nate Davis's fault. Somebody was surely supposed to be there as a receiver, and nobody was.
1st and 10 at the 11.
Dropping back, Ingram throws to the far sideline, and it is caught. And a big hit at the end of the play. Reception by Rob Spells will be a first down for Abilene, but a flag back toward the 10-yard line.
Kevin Brown that time on the tackle for the Venom.
Coach Joe Brannon's got a ringside seat for this discussion with the officials. He's right in the middle of it. As they're talking right over there by where he's normally standing. And so now they will retreat to get away from him just a little bit and pick up their discussion at the 20-yard line.
Top of the cap, that must be an ineligible receiver downfield, I guess.
Go against Abilene, whatever it is. They're going to be backed up deep in their own end of the field, no matter what.
Mark it back at the 5-yard line. Will be 1st and 16.
Discussion still going on the far side as the wave has started here at Coors Light Field. Never have really understood the fascination with the wave, but definitely is fun to do.
I'm too tired to get out of my seat.
I can relate to that. All right, here we go back to play from the 5-yard line. First down and about 18 to go for the first down. And in the end zone, just throwing the ball away, that may be a safety. There's a penalty marker. As Ingram was in trouble, it is a safety. The Venom get the safety as Byron Ingram was under all kinds of pressure and let it go in the end zone as he just threw it away. And the Venom will get the 2 points out of it.
Yeah, and I think he was already ruled that he was down. So 2-point safety.
I think Jared Williams is the Venom player that had him wrapped up. That makes our score 58-32. Amarillo with the lead. Just a minute 40 seconds to play in this third quarter.
Well, if there was ever any doubt that the Venom were not going to be up for this one, I think everybody was sadly mistaken, because they have really come out tonight and played well in all facets of the game.
Still some time left, but boy, the Bombers have not had a whole lot go right for them tonight, and it continues to be all Venom in this one. As we wind down the third quarter, Venom a little over a quarter away from advancing to the Lone Star Football League Championship game, which would be played right back here next Saturday.
Well, the talking continues on between each team. Jeremiah Turner letting loose with some garbage time.
Yeah, he's upset in particular. Nate Davis kind of supplying the back and forth on the Venom part down on the sideline. It's been kind of one of those nights, and we said coming into this contest that there's no love lost between these two teams. Quite a rivalry has developed between the squads. Of course, Amarillo has dominated the season series. They won the 3 meetings during the regular season. The last 2 were by pretty comfortable margins, and they're threatening to do that again here tonight.
Well, the first one was 4 down at Taylor County Expo in 22 and 27, and now the margin is 26.
So the Venom will get the football again after the safety. And Raymond Johnson Jr. has retreated to try to return the kickoff. Wally Movement will boot it away for Abilene. Movement approaches, and here's his kick. High and deep. Johnson back to the wall, takes it across the 5, the 10, 15, and then upended head over heels as he got close to the 20-yard line.
Jarius Jarvis making the big tackle there. And now the Venom will take it over at their own 19-yard line, 1st and 10. $1:33 left in the third quarter, leading it 58-32.
So here comes Nate Davis and the Venom offense back out onto the field. Davis had to find his helmet. Stops to visit with head coach Julian Reese, get the play call to start this drive. 1:33 left to go in this third quarter. From the 19, 1st and 10 Venom. Alex Watson retreats. He'll be the motion man. 2 receivers go to the left side. Watson on the right. As Davis drops back, throws to the left side. It's complete near midfield. Looking for room. Williams at the 20 and down to about the 17-yard line.
All right, got an update from Laredo at the end of the third quarter. Laredo is up 40-35 over New Mexico. They were down at the half, 29-19.
That's a heck of a game, it sounds like. Here it's 58-32. Venom in control. We're under a minute to play in the third quarter. Amarillo with the football and moving once again. They've got it at the Bombers' 17-yard line. Single receiver to the left side. Watson split wide right. Johnson in the slot as the motion man. Davis pump fakes left. Now scrambles right. Looks back left. Still looking and runs with it. And finally knocked up against the wall short of the 10-yard line.
What could possibly be the final play of the third quarter.
Looks like that's going to be the case as the clock continues to wind down. All at the 12-yard line, and the Venom will retreat to the bench as we go to the fourth quarter. 58-32 our score. Amarillo Venom leading the Abilene Bombers at the end of the third quarter here in the semifinals of the Lone Star Football League playoffs. The defending champions, Venom, jumped out to a 28-0 lead and really haven't slowed down a whole lot since then, Phil.
Not at all. In the third quarter, of course, Abilene scored on their first possession of the third quarter on a Jermaine Blakely 1-yard touchdown run. Run for two failed, and they brought it back at 10:38 with 49-32. But again, come the Venom again, and they score on a 4-yard touchdown run by Alex Watson. The extra point good. They made it 56-32, and then the safety with 1:40 left in the third quarter, and they now lead it by a score of 58-32. And again, as we told you, Laredo Rattlesnakes leading at the end of 3 against the New Mexico Stars by a score of 40-35.
Well, I think a lot of people anticipated another Amarillo-Laredo battle in the championship game, those two teams being the top seeds. Of course, it's not automatic in the playoffs, and Laredo having a tough time with the New Mexico Stars there in Laredo this evening.
21 first downs through 3 quarters for the Venom, 10 for the Bombers. Total offense 114 for Abilene, 225 for Amarillo. Nate Davis 22 of 32, 207 yards, 6 touchdowns, 2 picks. Doug Williams 12 catches, 123 yards tonight. Alex Watson 7 catches, 64 yards, but he does have a touchdown run from 4 yards out. Byron Ingram 5 of 10 passing, 91 yards with a pick. And Jermaine Blakely 8 carries, 17 yards, couple of touchdowns.
So we're just about ready to go with the fourth quarter of action here in this contest. Again, we mentioned Amarillo and Abilene being Amarillo and Laredo rather being the top 2 seeds in the playoffs. And they've played 3 times this season. Laredo has actually won twice over the Venom. Amarillo won here in a close ball game, lost during the regular season at Laredo early in the season, and then lost the regular season finale as well in what was honestly a meaningless game as far as the Venom go for that regular season finale. So Laredo does have the better of the Venom during the regular season if you go by those results, but Amarillo would, I'm sure, be a favorite if they played Laredo here in the championship contest. And Abilene hoping to make a big comeback here in this fourth quarter to keep the Venom from playing in that title game next season or next week. But they are down big here as we start the fourth quarter, 58-32, with the Venom threatening yet again at the 12-yard line of the Bombers.
Second down and 5.
Out of the shotgun set. They'll fake the handoff. Davis looks, now has to scramble at the 10, spins, and is down to the 5-yard line.
Picks up the first down.
He thought about letting it fly, but just wasn't sure he could get it in there, and so just decided to run with it. They'll spot it down at the 6-yard line where it will be a Venom first down.
Outstanding protection that time by the offensive line, especially because it took so long for the play to develop, and no flags. First and goal at the 6.
Norris McGill in there up front for the Venom, along with Eric Walsh. I think, not sure who the third one is right now. Vontae Jackson.
Yeah.
Watson will run with it. He's hit hard and driven backwards. A great hit by Wally Movement. He disrupted that. That's one of those running plays for Alex Watson where he lines up like he's going to be the motion man. Instead, he sprints toward the quarterback. And Nate Davis handed it off to him, but Wally Movement looked like he had as much momentum as Watson did.
Now Marcus Rowe will check in for Jackson on the left side on the offensive line.
Get a little more beef up front. Second down, second and goal for the Venom at the 5. Venom break the huddle. We'll send 2 receivers, make it 3 to the right side. Ball spotted near the left hash. Davis drops back. Steps up, throws into the end zone, but it's incomplete. Alex Watson was the intended receiver. And the coverage there by by Chaz Russell of Abilene. Davis really put a lot on that throw. About took out some of the fans there down in the seats. So all of a sudden it's third down now for the Venom. Third and goal from the Abilene 5. 12 and a half minutes left. Venom trying to increase their 58-32 lead. They'll run with the football and looking for running room, and getting it down to the 1-yard line is Blaine Gaultier, who checked in, but there is the penalty marker that will wipe out the play on the illegal procedure call.
We're talking about Nate Davis and what a prolific quarterback he has been for the Amarillo Venom, but he played his college football at Ball State out of the Mid-American Conference. And when you think about it, there have been some terrific quarterbacks coming out of that. Ben Roethlisberger is one I always think about of the Steelers.
He's a good one, no question. And Davis, the Venom are definitely feel like they're fortunate to have a quarterback of Nate Davis's caliber here leading the Venom.
I think the Ohio University quarterback is Mickey Tettleton's son. He's also a good one.
Third down and goal from the 10 now. Quick toss over the middle on the slant. It's caught. Touchdown, Venom.
Dougie.
Another one for Doug Williams.
Can he do the Dougie?
And another penalty marker. There was contact after the play. A little scrum ensued on the near sideline between a couple of the linemen. Not sure which way it's going to go. Could be one against each team. Let's see. Yeah, it's going to go both ways. So the touchdown will count. What is that, number 5 for Doug Williams tonight?
Indeed it is. And he has been doing the Dougie all night long.
5 touchdown catches for Venom receiver Doug Williams. Now the extra point kick from another guy who's been pretty busy, Jason Cunningham. Tries to tack on one more.
What's so bad about it, we both remember when we covered him doing high school football, kicking the ball for the Rebels of Dasco.
Certainly do. And this one is good, as they all have been tonight. And the Venom have more than doubled up now. The Bombers, as Amarillo starts to pull away. 65-32 the score. The Amarillo Venom leading the Abilene Bombers with 11:35 to play here in the fourth quarter.
On the drive, 6 plays, 31 yards in 4 minutes, 37 seconds. Doug Williams with his 5th touchdown catch tonight. This time 10 yards from Nate Davis. Cunningham's extra point is good. 65-32, and Doug Williams, quite a night.
Well, again, they certainly need him in the lineup, and he was feared to possibly miss this game after the injury last week to his hand in Laredo, but got the clearance from the doctors, and he's in the lineup, and you can't tell he's hurt because he's really had a terrific ball game. Right now, it looks like a frustrated group of Bombers from Abilene as LaJuan Edwards drops back deep, along with Rob Spells to receive the kickoff. So Jason Cunningham to boot it away for the Venom. And here's his kick. Low line driver that bounces, goes right past Spells into the end zone. He's got to find the handle and does. Looks for running room in the end zone and is down at the 1.
Tim O'Neill making the big tackle right at the 1.
Tim O'Neill down very quickly. It just took Rob Spells a long time to find the football, as it kind of looks like more like a hockey puck that rolls, around the railing. And that's what happened there. And then just didn't have any place to go once he did try to run it out. So from the 1, the Bombers go to work here.
Well, it's been a good sports year for the Amarillo professional teams. The Amarillo Bulls, not really professional, but winning the NAHL championship. Venom trying to get their second straight LSFL championship, and the Amarillo Sox best record in the American Association in baseball.
Ingram in trouble in the end zone, and he goes down in a pile.
I think Jared Williams gets his second safety.
And he had plenty of help on this one, unlike the first one.
I know he was quick, but you look at the right tackle for Abilene, limping off is Willie Bradley, and he is just have to feel bad for him because he's limping on that right knee.
Yeah, he's really hobbled. So it's now 67-32 with the Venom tacking on another safety, their second of the ball game. And poor Byron Ingram just got blitzed in the end zone. The Venom really came after him on that play.
Well, they know he's got to pass, and of course you pass most of the time anyway in indoor football, but they're just letting it all hang out right now. 11:06 to go in the fourth quarter. Venom leading at 67-32. Venom will get the ball back.
Like I say, it really has to be frustrating for Abilene. They've had a hard time from the opening kickoff in tonight's contest. So Raymond Johnson Jr. will retreat and have a chance to return another kickoff here for Amarillo. Dante Bright also back deep, standing around the 10-yard line as Johnson retreats to the end zone.
Got an update from Laredo. 2 minutes left in the game. Laredo 61, New Mexico 56.
Still a close ball game. Not the case here in Amarillo tonight. So here's the kick from Wally Moomin of Abilene off the side of his foot and makes a beeline into the seats on the far side.
I've hit golf shots like that.
Well, I can't say it really was off the side of his foot because that's where they normally kick it, is off the side of the foot, but that one just didn't work.
And I know you're a big tennis fan. How about that big victory by Marion Bartoli over Sabine Lisicki in the Wimbledon ladies singles final?
Bartoli's played well at Wimbledon the last few years, and I think Lisicki just was overwhelmed by the moment. She just didn't have it in the championship.
And the Bryan brothers, Bob and Mike, now own all 4 major championship doubles titles at the same time. That is quite an accomplishment for the Americans.
They're the best doubles team ever, in my opinion. I think they showed it with that. So AmarilloVenom get the football at the 20-yard line of the Bombers. Nate Davis, short drop, looks left, now goes back and drops it over the middle into the end zone for Williams, who was looking for touchdown catch number 6, and he almost had it. And a big collision along the wall in the back of the end zone.
Taking the brunt of it was Chaz Russell out of Langston University, and boy, he has to double over in pain. I think also Dougie kind of got away with maybe a push-off in the back of the end zone against Moomin.
Coming on will be Diamond Weaver to take the place of Chaz Russell. He's going to have to try to walk that one off. Hopefully nothing serious. Don't think it is. I just think he got his bell rung a little bit. He went really hard into the wall. That's a tough play. You know you're running out of room. You know there's also a receiver there trying to catch that football. You got to sacrifice. And I'll tell you what, Chaz Russell did right there. And he'll take a seat on the bench. Try to shake off the cobwebs. Second down and 10 for the Venom from the Bomber 20-yard line. Just over 10 minutes left to play in the fourth quarter. Amarillo leading 67-32. Motion man Johnson on the left side. As Davis drops back, throws for Johnson, but he goes over the wall and takes a hard spill. Tried to reach up with one hand. It's incomplete. Talk about sacrifice.
Yeah.
My goodness. That's a little scary.
Well, RJ's a tough nut, guaranteed.
He's going to ask for a replacement here. I don't blame him.
By the way, Alex Watson also was open deep down the right side on the cut, and Davis didn't see him in time. Third down.
Anthony Clark comes into the ball game to replace Raymond Johnson. Clark will be the motion man. He'll line up deep. Watson comes to the left side as well. Split wide left. And they'll go to Watson, and he bobbles it and drops it at the 15. Had it for a minute. Just could never quite bring it down. So that brings up fourth down now for the Venom. Looked like when this drive started at the 20, they might have another easy touchdown, but it hasn't been the case.
8:49 and counting here in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, Chaz Russell came back into the game for Abilene, and now Diamond Weaver will take his place once again as Ingram, or rather Russell, just still doesn't look right. So he still hobbles off the field. On fourth down from the 20, Davis drops back to pass, steps up and throws, and it's incomplete off of the hands of Doug Williams on the far side near the wall.
Well, the Bombers get the defensive stop they need, but it may be too little, too late.
Just 8:24 left. They trail 67-32, but they do get the ball back. So the Bombers will take over at the 20. Byron Ingram, the quarterback. It's a play from Coach Joe Brannon. Brian Ingram will be split wide left. Spells comes wide right. Motion man is Edwards. The throw over the middle, but behind Brian Ingram and incomplete.
And Marcus Rowe was in on him, had a hand on his shoulder pad, and the play was not able to be executed from Ingram to Ingram.
Byron Ingram comes up limping a little bit. He's all right, though. He'll stay in the ball game. He's gone the entire way with the exception of the first couple of series in tonight's game.
Yeah, after it got down 28-0, that's when he came in, took over for Colts.
Amarillo scored early and often in this one. On second down, Ingram drops back and throws. It's complete to Ingram this time inside the 10-yard line. Knocked out of bounds on the far side by Stephen Harris of the Venom. But the Ingram to Ingram connection works that time down to the 8-yard line. You can tell it's late in the ball game where the players are all slow getting back after a long pass play like that. And a timeout now taken by the Amarillo Venom. Stops the clock with 6:57 to play and a 67-32 Venom lead.
Well, it's been a Venom game right from the get-go as they converted a couple of defensive stops, a couple of turnovers into scores. They were able to take advantage of some sharp passing by Nate Davis early. Davis, through 3 quarters, was 22 of 32 for 207 yards, had a couple of picks, one on a tip pass, total of 6 touchdowns. That meant in the third quarter, he was 7 of 9 for 84 yards. Not bad.
No, not bad at all. That's how you win ball games. If you have a lead at halftime, you come out and play that way in the third quarter. It has been a big night for the Venom offense. They've pretty much been unstoppable this evening. And the Abilene offense has struggled with penalties and turnovers themselves. So it looks like the Venom will advance to the championship game next weekend, which will be on Saturday night right back here at Coors Light Field at the Amarillo Civic Center.
Yeah, the only comment I got on Facebook is Michael Bragg of Laredo made a terrific interception, and lady called it play of the game. So that must have been the one that put them up that 61-56 with a couple of minutes left in that fourth quarter. They had a good crowd down there tonight at their facility in Laredo. It's down that supports their sports teams down there. As we watch somebody trying to, as you all are watching too on B2 Network, trying to get some money out of the People's Federal Credit Union airbox.
That's pretty funny to watch. I have to admit, I was watching it. Felt for that young lady trying to grab something.
I think I just wrap my body in duct tape and try to jump on it.
She had a strategy going in, but it didn't quite work, so she had to go to plan B. That didn't work either. That would be about my luck as well.
Well, the Bombers have it first and goal at the Venom 8-yard line with 6:57 to play. What apparently will come up short for the Bombers. They'll finish the regular season at 6-7, or the entire season at 6-7.
And they will have suffered their 4th loss at the hands of the Venom this season. That's not easy to do.
Well, it's hard to spot a team a 28-point lead and expect to win.
And that really demoralized the defense right away. Dropping back, Ingram throws into the end zone for Edwards, and it's incomplete. And tell you what, the Venom have played pretty well against the former West Texas A&M Buffalo tonight.
Kevin Brown on the coverage that time. He's out of Delta State University.
Second down and goal now for the Venom, or for the Bombers rather, from the Venom 8-yard line. A couple of receivers will come to the right side, and the motion man also to the right. Dropping back, Ingram under pressure, throws to the end zone. It's incomplete.
Well, I guess they ruled it. There's a late flag.
Well, that may be something that happened down here on the sideline. But, yeah, I was waiting on the interference call, but it didn't come.
Evidently ruled that David Irizarty arrived at the same time as the receiver and then had that extracurricular activity up by the boards around the 5.
So another long discussion for the officials. They've had a few of those tonight, trying to get it right.
And the finger pointing and the trash talking continues out on the field. What if they award a trash talker of the year in the LSFL?
I don't know, but these two teams, they like to get after each other, that's for sure. And they have. Face mask is the call on the offensive team.
That'll back it up.
Well, the officials have earned their money tonight. They've been a busy bunch.
Well, they had called 18 penalties through 3 quarters.
That'll scoot the ball back to the 18-yard line. Under 6 minutes to play now in this fourth quarter. 67-32 the score. Amarillo leading Abilene. All 3 receivers come to the wide side of the field. Edwards, the motion man, takes off. Dropping back, Ingram under pressure, dumps it off. Blakely has it on the screen at the 15, and tackled from behind at the 10-yard line.
Dante Bright with the tackle.
And a good open field tackle on a big man.
Good maneuvering by Ingram because Anthony Clark was coming from the right side.
And he was coming in a hurry. So that puts the ball down at the 10-yard line where it will be third down. Third and goal from the 10 for the Abilene Bombers. Trying to get another touchdown. They haven't had one since the start of the third quarter. Ingram takes the snap and drops back, throws into the end zone for Brian Ingram, but through his hands and incomplete.
He was open, but the ball was just zipped in there too hard for him to make the catch.
And it's fourth down now for Abilene. One more crack at it here for the Bombers. Bill's going to try to get us another score, an update from Laredo on the Rattlesnakes and the Stars. They're having a big battle there in the other semifinal tonight.
Final score, Laredo 61, New Mexico 56. Championship game will be here next Saturday night, in which will be a dandy. It'll be an all-snake final, Rattlesnakes and the Venom, starting at 7:05.
So fourth down and 10, and now all kinds of confusion on the Bombers' side of the ball. And Byron Ingram has to reluctantly call a timeout. So 61-56, the final score, Laredo winning over New Mexico. So the Rattlesnakes had a tough time with the Stars. That, of course, is the number 2 and 3 seeds going at it there.
They were down 29-19 at the half, being held scoreless in that second quarter, and came from behind with a big third quarter and capped it off with a winning fourth quarter to win it by 5 over New Mexico.
So the Stars' first season in the league comes to an end. Gave a good accounting of themselves, though, during the regular season and that playoff appearance.
Well, that should be a dandy next week. And of course, we'll have that for you right here on B2 Network. But if you're in the area, get your tickets now. It's going to be a dandy.
Well,
I expect a good crowd from Laredo to come up.
And that was a great ball game, the first meeting here in Amarillo between the Rattlesnakes and the Venom. 4-point Amarillo win, or 2-point, I can't remember, but it was close. So here on fourth down and 10 now for the Bombers after the timeout. Edwards cuts upfield in motion. Throw in the end zone for Edwards, but it's high and incomplete, and a penalty marker at the end of the play back near the line of scrimmage. Jared Williams will plead his case for the Venom, but I think he got caught for something. Roughing the passer. Oh, that's not what you want to see. Not if you're Julian Reese, the head coach of the Venom.
Or Danny Snyder, the defensive coordinator.
Yeah, he's the first guy you have to answer to because he's out on the field.
So to bring up a redeeming first down and goal at the 5-yard line. 3:52 to go.
So new life here for the Bombers after the roughing the passer penalty. Looked like the Venom had stopped them on downs, but it's first and goal. Ingram under center. And will, on the delayed handoff, give it to Blakely, and he runs right into red jerseys and is driven backwards.
First one that got him, Dante Bright.
Boy, he's played a great ball game tonight.
Made a big first down run on a fourth down play. He's made some terrific tackles. Drop him for a yard loss, the big man. 3 minutes to go.
So 2nd and goal from the 6 now for the Bombers. Get Kevin Myers over the ball, the center. Ingram, the quarterback, takes the snap. They'll fake it to Turner, rolling right, looking in the end zone. The ball is caught for the touchdown. Let's see who came up with it. It's for the Brian Ingram took the punishment really from his own teammate in the back of the end zone.
Yeah, it was Jarius Jarvis who made the catch.
Oh, it's 44, not 14. Beg your pardon.
And I'm surprised that he held on to it because he slapped right into
to Blakely.
Big man.
Yeah, Blakely was back there in the back of the end zone as well. And a great job by Jarius Jarvis to hold on to the football for the tough touchdown catch. Comes with under 3 minutes to play here in this fourth quarter. Makes it 67-38. Venom with the lead, and now, as they've done all night, the Bombers to go for 2. Ingram lofts it for Blakely, and he steps into the end zone for the 2-point conversion. That's a nice play. Everyone looking right. They quickly swing it back to the left, and there waiting on it was Jermaine Blakely, and he steps into the end zone for the 2-point conversion. That makes the score now 67-40. The Venom in control with 2:13 left to play here in this fourth quarter. And there was also a penalty flag. I know that's a shock to everyone, but there was also a flag on that last play as well.
On the drive for the Bombers, 7 plays, 30 yards, and 5 minutes and 46 seconds. Jarius Jarvis with a touchdown pass from Byron Ingram. And for Ingram, that's his first touchdown pass tonight, his 12th of the season. We mentioned about Brian Ingram. He's an outstanding receiver out of Delaware. I think their quarterback, Joe Flacco, I don't know whatever happened to him. Who knows?
I've heard of him.
By the way, I got to visit in early June the University of Nevada in Reno. Was looking to see if any Colin Kaepernick stuff was up there. He's a very popular man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, 2:13 to go, 67-40, a 27-point margin, which will tie for the biggest margin of a Venom victory over Abilene this year. Let's see if we'll see the onside kick by the Bombers.
So Wally Moomin will kick off for Abilene. It's the ball from the official.
Should be a Dandy Championship game next week, right here in Amarillo, Laredo.
Here is the little short kick. It's bobbled by Alex Watson. Picks it up, though, and then he's pounded to the turf. So the Venom will come out of it with good field position. It was not really an onside kick, and it was not really a deep kick.
A pooch kick.
Just didn't quite go, I don't think, where Wally Moomin wanted to kick it, but nonetheless, Watson then couldn't handle it, and it rolled around for a minute, but bounced back to him, and they'll spot it down at the 19-yard line. And the Venom will have the ball there with 2:07 left.
And the backup quarterback has come in.
Brian Gaultier.
Blaine Gaultier.
Blaine, I'm sorry.
Out of Louisiana Lafayette.
Played a whole lot in last week's game against Laredo. Out of the shotgun set, the left-hander will throw to the near sideline. His first pass complete to Anthony Clark, fighting for yardage and keeping his legs going, and finally got it down inside the 15-yard line to the 14.
Well, the main thing here is you keep Nate Davis from possibly getting injured late in the ball game, which you've already got the victory, and it's a little more time for Gaultier to show what he can do.
Blaine didn't play badly at all last week in the ball game against Laredo. I don't have his numbers in front of me, but did he did play, as I said, the majority of the game. I think Nate Davis maybe played one series or something like that down there in Laredo last week.
And David Irizarry has come in to play some offense.
Nate Davis already has the shoulder pads off on the near sideline. 1 minute to play in this semifinal contest, so there's a timeout on the field. The Venom lead at 67-40 and will win this playoff matchup and advance to the final next week. Have a chance to defend their Lone Star Football League championship against the Laredo Rattlesnakes. 7 o'clock kickoff next week here in Amarillo at the Civic Center.
And if you're interested in getting tickets for that, you can go to www.panhandletickets.com and get your tickets now. It should be, I think, really it's going to be an outstanding championship game. Venom will try for their second consecutive LSFL championship.
They've had some great battles this season, those two teams. And so hopefully another one coming up next week for the championship. No reason to think it won't be. Venom felt like they should have won the ball game in Laredo. Of course, losing teams always probably going to say that, especially in a close ball game like that one was. And then, of course, the third one was really just a meaningless ball game that affected neither team in the standings. Venom had already locked up the top seed and the home field advantage, and the Rattlesnakes knew they were going to be the second seed in the playoffs. So nothing was at stake in that meaningless loss last week for the Venom.
Well, in the home game here on April 20th, Venom defeated Laredo 62-58. Then the Venom won again back on June 1st here by a score of 76-49.
I don't think that's right.
Well, I'm going on the...
Well, I know, but they have... That's
okay.
That's not correct.
Yeah, they messed up.
All right.
I'm sorry about that.
Here we go as Gaultier takes the snap and just runs out of the shotgun set around the left end down to the 10-yard line. And there's a penalty marker at the end of the play. Now, the first game that was here against Laredo, again, was a terrific ball game that really was wild in the last few minutes of the game. That looked like the Venom were going to lose it, and they managed to win it. And then the second contest was in Laredo, and that was the game that the Venom lost. Okay. Although the scores on some of the statistics that I've seen have the score wrong, but it was a game that the Venom lost. And then, of course, their last loss came last week in Laredo.
But they did win the second home game. That was a score of 76-49, which they completely dominated Laredo at that time. And guess what? They waved off a flag.
Thank goodness. We've had plenty of those in tonight's battle.
And we'll wrap it up pretty early here for you on the post game, but we'll bring you up to date on all the stats for you.
It's been a big night for the Amarillo Venom. Nate Davis and especially Doug Williams has had a great ball game for the Venom this evening. 5 touchdown catches. Playing Gaultier, the quarterback, has his pass batted in the air and almost intercepted. Gaultier's pass knocked up by Jeremiah Turner. He's played well in defeat for Abilene tonight on both sides of the ball.
And I think Mr. Blakely has done a terrific job tonight, both offensively and defensively for the Bombers.
He's definitely a busy guy. He sees a lot of action and obviously one of the best Abilene players. To their credit, the Bombers didn't give up after they fell behind early. They battled back and made a game of it. Venom led 49-26 at halftime, but have pretty much dominated things here in the second half. Gaultier is rammed hard into the boards on the near side. The sign on the scoreboard says ouch, and that's pretty accurate. Big collision. Stops the clock with 47 seconds left to play. Ball spotted down at the 8-yard line, where it's third down for the Venom. So Blaine Gaultier, the quarterback, again lines up in the shotgun set. And he'll look to the right side and throw it up into the end zone. It's incomplete. As players go high over the boards and into the fans over there.
Almost picked off by Wally Moomin, and now he's down on the turf. Some pain.
Anthony Clark was the intended receiver, I think, for the Venom.
43.3 seconds to go, and Moomin writhing in some pain down around the 2-yard line.
And the words between the two teams continue. David Irizarry's been pretty vocal tonight for the Venom. And he's going back and forth with Greg Yeldell, I think, for the Bombers. Good to see Wally Moomin now struggle to his feet on the far side. A nice round of applause from the fans.
Not sure what exactly happened. He was the other defender down there. Clark and the other guy went over the boards.
I think that was Archie Reed who was battling on the play, and Moomin, I'm like you, I didn't see what happened to him. Now he'll try to trot off, so hopefully that means he's okay.
A 23-yard effort now for Jason Cunningham from the left hash. This time out of the hold of Dante Bright.
Nate Davis is the usual holder, but he's done for the night. Cunningham's field goal is good. And what a night it's been for Jason Cunningham for the Amarillo Venom. He did miss the field goal at the end of the first half that went up high into the rafters. But other than that, it's been pretty solid for Jason Cunningham, the kicker for the Venom. Our score now 70-40. The Venom with the 30-point edge with 39.9 seconds left to play here in this Lone Star Football League semifinal. By the way, we want to mention a good handshake from Greg Yeldell and David Irizarry out on the field. So, yeah, there's been a lot of talk, and the teams don't like each other. But at the end of the day, they usually come out and shake hands and congratulate each other. And hopefully that's the case here. It seems to be. It's been a rough night for the Bombers.
5 plays, 11 yards, 125 off the clock on the 23-yard field goal by Cunningham. 70-40. We're just about to come to an end here on B2 Network tonight. Glad that you joined us. Apologize for my voice tonight.
Well, now you'll have a week to rest up, and hopefully it'll be back completely next week.
I tell you what, it's been the worst sinus infection I've ever had. I've never had one last as long as this one. And I'm on antibiotics since Monday. Of course, some of my friends down in Abilene said, "We've heard your voice regular. It doesn't sound that good anyway."
All right, the final 39.9 seconds left to play as Jason Cunningham lines up for the kickoff. Rob Spells and LaVon Edwards back deep for Abilene. And it hits up out of a up back against Abilene, and the Venom recover.
It went off Yeldell.
That's the kind of night it's been for the Bombers. That was a line drive kick. It had a lot on it. There wasn't a whole lot that Greg Yeldell could do. Just had it go off of him, and the Venom right there to scoop it up.
Stephen Harris comes off with another turnover. 36.5 seconds to go. And I suspect we'll just You normally would take the knee, but when you do that, it stops the clock.
That's right.
So you got to have a positive yardage. It'd be first and goal, or first and 10 rather, at the 12-yard line.
So the Venom will just try to run out the last 36.5 seconds. Blaine Gaultier, the backup quarterback, is in there. And once again, he'll line up in the shotgun set. And he'll throw it to the far sideline. It's complete to Anthony Clark. Gosh, a penalty marker comes in. We just couldn't get away without a penalty flag. Another one. Stops the clock with 30.9 seconds left. Illegal block call or illegal hands against the Venom.
It'll stop the clock.
And keep it stopped. And push the ball back near the 5-yard line. They'll spot it down at the 6. Dante Bright coming off the field for the Venom. He's played well tonight. So Gaultier, the quarterback, now from the 6-yard line. And they snap it before he's ready, and he bounces back to him, and I think he got out of the end zone.
He did.
And they'll spot it down at the 1. That is a strange-looking turn of events, but it fortunately didn't turn into a safety for the Venom.
They'll stop the clock, though, with 3.4 seconds to go.
So 70-40 lead for the Venom with 3.4 seconds left. David Irizarry leading the cheers as he's up on the rail down on the sideline. And a lot to cheer about for these Venom fans here tonight. They've been treated to a great performance by the home team. Team ready to play and jumped out early on this one. And a hit in the backfield and driven back on the last play of the game. It reads all zeros. And that should do it. See if they count it as a safety. Don't know. We've not seen the signal.
I guess they ruled that he made it up to the line of scrimmage. And that's it. The officials are running off the field. And that's going to be the final score. The Venom 70 and the Bombers 40.
So again, a quick start for the Amarillo Venom in tonight's contest. They led 28-0 before the Bombers would ever get going offensively. And the Venom really never sputtered on offense tonight, with the exception of a couple of turnovers, as they rack up 70 points here this evening. The defense doing the job as well against some talented offensive players from Abilene. So 70-40 the final. The Venom on to the championship game in the Lone Star Football League next week. That'll be against the Laredo Rattlesnakes. They had a tough fight on their hands tonight against the New Mexico Stars, but they won that 61-56. And so it's Amarillo against Laredo next Saturday night for the Lone Star Football League Championship.
Well, the Amarillo Venom got off to a 28-0 lead in the first quarter on 4 touchdown passes from Nate Davis, 2 to Raymond Johnson Jr. of 3 and 4 yards, 2 to Doug Williams of 9 and 8 yards. And then finally, Abilene scored on a 1-yard touchdown run by Alex Joyner. Run for 2 failed, and it was 28-6. But with 33.5 seconds left in the first quarter, Tim O'Neill runs it up from 3 yards out, and it's 35-6 at that point. In the second quarter, Byron Ingram runs it from 7 yards out. Alex Joyner with a 2-yard extra point run makes it 35-14 on the 14-14 to go in the second quarter. And then Jeremiah Turner, after a turnover, an interception by the Bombers, 1 yard out. Run fails for 2, and it's 35-20. Then Doug Williams catches another pass from Davis, makes it 42-20, and then Turner from 30 yards out with a kickoff return. The pass for 2 fails, 42-26, and Doug Williams with 2:40 left in the half Another touchdown pass makes it 49-26 at the half. The third quarter, Abilene scores early on a Jermaine Blakely 1-yard touchdown run. 10:38 to go. 49-32, then a 4-yard run by Watson makes it 56-32, and then a safety, the first of two by Jared Williams, makes it 58-32 with 1:40 left in the third. And then in the fourth quarter, with 11:35 to go, Doug Williams again with another touchdown pass from Davis, 65-32. Williams another safety, 67-32. Jarius Jarvis a 6-yard pass from Byron Ingram. And a pass for two, Blakely from Byron Ingram, 2:13 to play, 67-40, and then Jason Cunningham, 23 yards out with 39.9 seconds to go, makes the final score 70-40. Final stats, first downs, Amarillo 24, Abilene 14. Total offense for Abilene, 186 yards, 67 on the ground, 119 through the air, 37 plays, 186 yards. The Venom, 247 yards total offense, 25 on the ground, 222 through the